All right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
5 seconds remaining. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is all over. The Edmonton Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
For the win. Draisaitl centers McDavid, tips it home. Game over.
Gretzky going in. Sugar trying to get back. Gretzky with his nice score.
It's the 6 o'clock and check-in. Come on, let's go.
And he scores. Leon Draisaitl.
It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
And there it is. Seth Hyman.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go.
The Oilers pouring it on. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Smith from behind the net, a wraparound. Horton scores!
Edmonton wins.
Everybody tuning in, even my wife. And those Macramala intros are cutting like a knife.
That is an absolutely pitifully bad call.
Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life.
It is Marchand scores.
The stuck at 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
McDavid, beautiful move. In on the box. What can you say?
Let's see the Curry score.
Here they come, the Oilers. It's dropped back for Bookberger. Shoots, scores! Bookberger! The Oilers win it!
The Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, call somebody! What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. That's the button I was looking for.
This one's for you, buddy.
Oh, man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Zach, can you turn me up just a little bit? How you doing, buddy?
Fair? Little tired?
Man, I was just thinking that last
Hydrated.
night.
Like I'm
Yeah.
no worse for wear. I'm good. I didn't go nuts.
Well, yeah, well, you had a good time at Hudson's last night, though, right?
Sure did. Got to sit with the. I met my brother at the bar and got to sit with Liquid Beaver, a listener. Lots of listeners out there as well. Dustin with the Y, VR Montenegro showed up. They had the
Rip
back
City
room.
Step was in the
Rip
house.
City Step. They're foursome for the golf tournament. Apparently, they're
Corey.
They're coming to play. Corey B. Yeah.
it
He's
was a
telling me
good
more
time.
about the tattoo tomorrow.
Yeah, Paulie Gazzola in the house.
Paul Gazzola, the Gazzola parents
Mr.
as well.
and Mrs. Gazzola as well.
It was shaping up to be a fun night.
It's nice. Tommy will be at White Ave on Friday night. And then for Game 4, a little EST watch party for Game 4 also at White Ave. So
Better be there.
It was good. Popped by last night pregame. Went to the game with Tommy.
I couldn't
came
believe
back.
that. Just to say that was my big moment that happened.
Surprise!
You showed up. I couldn't believe it.
Surprise, I'm back. San Diego was terrific. Those of you who've been to San Diego don't need to hear it, but San Diego's an absolutely phenomenal city. Usually after you go on vacation with kids, after like 5 days, you're like, God, let's just go home. They're going to kill us. But this one was this was different. Like when we were packing up to come home, I was like, man, I could stay a couple more days.
It helps when you can kind of, you're like Homer Simpson in The Border. You can go from kid to adult as well at your ease. I mean, you enjoyed a lot of the things.
That is
and
true.
I'm just saying that in a compliment for him. But
like at Legoland, I had a lot of kids' meals. There wasn't a lot going on food-wise at Legoland, but I was crushing kids' meals.
hey, I'm that tall to go on that.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Oh, I can go on this one. This is terrific. So, it was a lot of fun. Jay's game was great. They ended up winning, so that was a nice. Petco Park, labeled as there. You sit down, it goes, "Welcome to America's #1 ballpark."
Oh man,
I was like, "What? We're in America's #1 ballpark? That's amazing!"
what a touch!
And it's great. They've got a building like built in right down the third baseline. The like an old building from. Like they built the stadium around it, but left it there.
That's a ballpark.
It was cool, yeah.
Ballpark needs that old heritage building somewhere sticking out in the outfield. Rip City Step here for the Padres talk. Love it.
It just, it just felt like you were watching baseball in America.
Well, and you made TV too. Our dream came true. As your seats, your
I
great
saw
seats.
the boys were talking about last night at Hudson's. And like, saw that one tweet where somebody was like, "Hey, Marshall Nielson sitting beside some guy in an EST hat. The kids had an absolute riot. They loved it. Legoland was good. If you've got kids in that age range, like 3 to 9, Legoland, 10 out of 10.
I never knew you stayed there too. I never knew there was a
we
hotel
stayed in
the
there's 2 hotels. There's like the Legoland Hotel and the Legoland Castle Hotel, and we were in the Castle Hotel. The kids absolutely loved it. 10 out, like Legoland for kids is like 10 out of 10. For Tammy, it was like 10 out of 10 because she likes lame rides and stuff. For me, it was like an 8 out of 10. Like I thought it was pretty cool, but there was nothing that would make me poop my pants from a roller coaster perspective. Whereas SeaWorld dropped the cover. SeaWorld's got some roller coasters that'll make your nuts hit your chest.
You sold yourself multiple times.
Oh man, I had to change my pants so many times at SeaWorld. It was nuts. Anyway, fun vacation. Happy to be back. And somebody's got to do it.
Corey in the Nasty Chat asking one particular question. There was one place that you'll have to. Now it's great because you have to go back to San Diego, right? You've left this. You don't do them all.
Yeah, we didn't go to the zoo. Everybody's like, "How's the zoo?" I was like, "I didn't go to the zoo."
I love it.
They're like, "Why not?" I said, "Well, there's no rides at the zoo." I went like the kids wanted to go to Legoland, and I knew there was a bunch of roller coasters at SeaWorld, so I want to go to SeaWorld. But we definitely we had one day where we just went to like the beach up in Carlsbad by Legoland, which was awesome. I contemplated momentarily, like, could I live that surfer's life? Like, not right now, but if I was raised in San Diego, would I be a surfer? I thought about that for a bit as I was standing there watching the sets come in.
What could have been?
So many people out there surfing. It was very cool. So we had like a beach day. I could have used 2 more days because I do want to go to the zoo, but now we have a reason to go back. We'll head to San Diego Zoo, probably go crush a roller coaster. The kids went on this roller coaster called the Manta at SeaWorld 11 times.
The Manta?
Manta. Good one. It's a good roller coaster. A lot of fun. No like loop-de-loop, but real good roller coaster. And they were Elizabeth 7. She's a roller coaster freak.
A tycoon, if you will.
Oh, yeah. She's just nuts about them. I was like, wow, you're the bravest. Like, I didn't start going on roller coasters until I was like 16 years old.
Well, once you've ridden an expensive rickshaw up a hill, you can ride anything.
Don't even get me started. Don't get me started on that. Yeah, I told the boys last night I had no idea how I posted a video of it.
Unbelievable.
But I had no idea how expensive like the ride was in one of those like motor powered rickshaws. But after the game, I'm like, man, we gotta get back to the hotel as quick as we can. It was dark. I don't go out dark in the United States. Obviously, it scares me. So I was like, well, let's hop in one of the kids. Like, can we ride in one of these, Daddy? I was like, sure, kids, let's do it. Like a 9-minute ride. I didn't look at how much it was. I was just like, it can't be that much. It's a 9-minute rickshaw ride back to the hotel. It's like 10 blocks. Sure enough, we get there. I said to the guys, oh, yeah, how much do I owe you? I think he'd be like, $50. Sure. I was like, okay, fine, I'll deal with it. He pulls up the price sheet and goes, well,
the sheet. Usually
it's $50 per person. But if you pay me in cash, I'll only charge you $40. So this damn, like, 9-minute, not even 8-minute, they listened to like 3 songs. It was like an 8-minute rickshaw ride. Cost $180 American. I was just like, oh my God, I should have asked the price before we got on this thing.
It's per person.
All-time backfire.
Like
all-time backfire.
Child,
but the kids loved it. Adult. It was one of the highlights of their trip. So I'm like, I guess I'll just suck it up. But what am I supposed to do? I should have asked before we got on, but whatever.
Look over there.
You learn. You learn from your mistakes, and you have a good time. All right, a couple of things. We'll lay out the show for you. Obviously, if you want to know anything else about San Diego, just slide in my DMs. I'll give you a heads up. It's a good family vacation. Very good family vacation. But we got a hockey game to discuss, don't we? Let's get on that like train this morning. Let's go. Hammer the thumbs up. Don't be shy. If you're watching right now, hammer the thumbs up. We'll certainly get to a lot of your message over in the nasty chat. You can text us anytime at 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. Family owned and operated, 22 stores in 4 provinces across Canada. For a limited time, high quality, 4-carat lab-created solitaire for $99.99. That's $9,999. 4 carats. Not 1 carat, not 2 carats, not 3 carats, 4 carats. My goodness.
9999.
How about this? And you'll be like, 9,999. Limited quantities will sell out quick. Think about that. That's how tough it is to get your hands on these.
Zach, are you listening?
4-carat labs. 4?
I know what I'm putting my first paycheck towards here.
I think so.
You're going to need more than your first paycheck. Now, with that being said, flexible payment options, including do not pay for 1 year. So you've got that as an option. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you want the Oilers to win Game 3, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, they'll probably lose. So if you're watching on YouTube today, please do that. If you're listening on TuneIn or you're listening on iHeart or you're listening at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, all we ask is that you tell your friends how easy it is to consume our content here on EST. And we are just settling in. It's going to be a long playoff run. I know many of you last night are sitting there going, oh, it's done. It's done. It's not done. Calm down. We'll continue to break this down. There are discussion points coming in last night's game that are legitimate. There's also some of the discussion points that are probably a little bit, freak out mode right now. That's okay too. We'll discuss all of it as we work our way through the show this morning. One of you will win text of the day for A&W, especially if you make us chuckle a little bit this morning. A&W's got the new Stacker Burgers now available. Lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, and a new secret sauce?
Yeah.
How are people still coming up with secret sauce in 2024? Feel like you would have had every sauce already created. God, a secret sauce that is bound to have you coming back for more. Grab a single, double, or triple stacker.
Single, double, triple.
My God. Starting at $3.99. The Stacker Burgers are only available for a limited time, so head to A&W today. For your convenience, most A&W drive-thrus are open 24 hours. What is this about?
Get the old 3 triple stacker.
Have you tried one of the Stacker Burgers at A&W yet? And what's the review like? 780-218-9999. And we will get to those text messages as we work our way through the show this morning. This text says, Legoland was 10 out of 10 for me, but I don't have kids that go on rides. I just like seeing cool stuff they've built. SeaWorld was boring other than the polar bears. Yeah, what's polar bears? First of all, I didn't see polar bears at SeaWorld. What the hell? Did we go to SeaWorld for 2 days and not see polar bears? Please tell me there's not polar bears at SeaWorld. I'll be pissed.
Probably need a little more of that cash to go to a secret room or something.
No, but we saw the dolphin show. We saw this hilarious sea lion. The killer whale show was good, but there's 5 roller coasters there. Like it was good. SeaWorld was good. SeaWorld wasn't boring. SeaWorld was very good. That's terrific. All right, here's the show for you today. Then we'll dive right into this game. And we'll get to your morning announcements and stuff too. Morning after show coming up at 6:30 for EM Utility Locating. Don't kill yourself. Call before you dig.
Especially after last night.
It's okay. It's
fine.
going to be fine. I already know they're going to win the series. I know it's like super bold take coming in today and being like after last night's game to be like, they're gonna win the series. I know the exact thing. I tell you the exact moment I knew they were going to win this series. The exact moment. I'll tell you. Well, if you want it. Do you want me to tell you the exact moment I knew they were going to win this series? Hammer the thumbs up on YouTube. I'll tell you, we get 150 likes before. We're 200 pace before 7 o'clock. Let's go. 200 likes before 7 o'clock. I'll tell you the exact moment I knew the Edmonton Oilers were going to win the series. And don't come in today and be like, oh, Dusty, you're a big homer. They're going to win this series.
Well, look, did you have a sweep? I didn't have a sweep.
I had them at 5.
So there you go.
My prediction still stands.
Charting out just like you
It
called
might be 6 now. It might be 6. But, look, everybody needs to relax. It'll be fine. Relax. They're going to be okay. But there was a moment in these first 2 games where I was like, that's it. They're going to win this series. Now, last night might have thrown some doubt into it for some of you. but on me, I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I'm ready to go. Just after 7 o'clock today, Luke Gazdic is going to pop by. We'll get his thoughts on the first 2 games of this series. Kind of look at the other games last night in the National Hockey League as well. Cool bet hotline of the day around 7:20. Have you guys been delivering some dubs?
Gager, Zach, you had a little play, did you not? Like, collectively, we've been going fine.
It wasn't a UFC pick, was it?
I know Matt's been a little hot. You might have to talk to him about the lock shop because he had some...
yeah, except I got on his parlay yesterday and it didn't hit. So don't tell me Matty's been hot. That being said, they hit that 6-1 a couple days ago, which I would have loved to have been on. But I was not.
No, look, it's been a little up, a little down, right? But that's kind of how you go. In the end, you kind of come out even. That's what the cool bet hotline of the day has been over the last week.
This is stay cool, bet responsibly.
Exactly.
There's ups and downs. I got beef. 7:30 today. I got some beef. It has to do with playoffs in Canada.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we're gonna
boy.
get into that. You thought my beef would be Darvin Ham as a coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, but it's not. It might be tomorrow.
Huge game 3 tonight.
Well, big time game 3 tonight.
Huge.
I had to watch game 2.
Yeah. We watched Matt Iwanek watch game 2 at Hudson's.
Yeah, at Hudson's. He was telling me about it last night.
Great viewing.
So I watched the first half. Things are going pretty good, and then Tam loves free stuff, and we had a voucher for like a free drink down at the bar. So we left the kids in the room. They were watching a show. We went down to the bar at the hotel we were staying at in San Diego, and we went to cash in on these free drinks. Had a beer. It was not as good as a 6 o'clock lager. Yeah. Like it was another lager, and I was like, man.
Did you ask every
6
place?
o'clock lager blows us out.
Can
of
I have
the
a
block.
6 o'clock lager, please?
Actually,
They'd
I
say
snuck
no.
some down. I wanted to put 2 cans behind the bar and be like, can I have a 6 o'clock lager? And they're like, no, we don't have any. I said, actually, you do. That'd be great. So Tam's like, yeah, we can go down, talk about the trip and stuff. I was like, yeah. But I got down, I got a seat right by this huge TV so I could watch the Lakers game.
Of course.
They go up 20, and I'm still freaking out. And Tammy's like, calm down, they're up by 20. I said, what? You know they're going to blow this, right? So, but then I had to watch the fourth quarter of the game. We went back up, put the kids to bed. The whole family's sleeping. All the lights are off. I'm streaming on my iPad, watching the game in the corner of the room.
Yeah, boy.
Trying not to freak out as
Yeah,
they're letting
boy.
this 20-point lead slip away. Jamal Murray hits that game-winner buzzer beater, and I'm in the corner like mouthing out swear words because I couldn't wake the family up. I was just losing it.
Almost fitting you're sitting in that chair.
Yeah. So there we
That's
were.
your view of the Lakers. You're
Yeah, exactly. I was in
watching
that
the Nuggets
one. I was in that
do
chair.
that to the Lakers in that chair.
That was tough. Very tough.
Was it good for you?
Yeah, I don't think it was good for anybody. Not for me.
Well, no, Jason Milne, I do believe, was in on the morning show after that game, to which he, discussed Michael Jordan amongst other things, and we
Man, Jordan. I'm not getting into it today.
because LeBron,
Like Michael Jordan's been retired forever. Let him go. Don't worry about him. Non-factor. For those of you who are like, Jordan would have never missed that shot. I retweeted yesterday the exact same shot that Jordan missed. So keep your MJ stands in a sock. You know. Vegas keyword coming out. This is the final day to qualify today. Final day to qualify for the EST Flyway to Vegas. Tomorrow we're giving it away.
man, that was fast. Hey,
That flew
that's
right by.
amazing.
Flew right by, no pun intended. Vegas keyword 7:45 today. Stuart Skinner, are you worried? There's one small, well, it's not a small part of his game, but there's one thing that concerns me a little bit about Stewie Skins. And we'll get to that a little bit later on hour number 2 of the show. Kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. Mike Tanier is going to pop by, our buddy Mike Tanier. NFL Draft Day.
We got a draft.
Sonny Weaver Jr. right about this time was trying to get Bo Callahan. If you try to work your way through the day, it was very
if you
early in the
start
morning.
draft day at this time.
Very early in the morning. Yeah. You just try to hit it in real
Hey,
time.
I'm on Ross St. Brown. Congratulations! I mean, that's
big deal. Thank
building
you, Eric.
blocks. These are things during the offseason that you as a Lions fan maybe aren't so accustomed to. But getting a star back in the fold and extending him. I mean, that's positive news ahead of the draft.
It's a good news day. That was a good news day. Scalding Hot Takes in-season tournament edition. It's sitting over there for Clayburn Services. Eric and I will go head to head with the pot holder.
Look to be a 2-title holder now.
You're trying to unite them. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to unite them too. Oh no, I guess I wouldn't
Well,
be today.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Ah, damn. That's okay. All right, 780-218-9999. So busy show for you today. Tomorrow's show is insane.
Wow, yeah.
Have you guys talked about what's happening on tomorrow's show yet?
Not too much. There's a few things that'll be happening on tomorrow's show.
Tomorrow on the show we'll have Sobe and Safely Liquor Beer of the Week.
Yes.
So that's always a good show. We'll be giving away a trip to Vegas tomorrow on the show. That'll be good. I have come back from San Diego bearing gifts. I have a playoff song ready to go. If they won last night, I was going to drop it today. But, everybody's going to be doom and gloom today.
Yeah.
So the new playoff song, which I think will get you pretty pumped up, we'll debut that tomorrow.
It could be the best thing of all time you play today, and it's crap.
And exactly. That's the thing. It could be awesome.
Yeah,
People are like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. Why are you playing this after a loss? So we'll play it on Friday to get you fired up for Game 3. I think you're going to like it. So that's happening on Friday as well. And then tomorrow, live during the show, we will have a secondary camera on as Corey B gets the Edmonton Sports Talk logo tattooed on his body.
Not the hand though, as Iwanek was thinking the hand. I'm like,
I want
you
knuckles.
crazy?
But I was talking to him last night. He was at Hudson's. He says it's gonna be like this big.
Yeah.
He says it's probably gonna take. I don't know how long tattoos take.
Oh,
but
good couple sessions right there.
He said it's probably gonna be like at least 2 to 3 hours. So we're gonna set him up in studio. We got a tattoo artist coming in, and we'll have him somewhere in the office. We'll have a camera on him, and
I'm just lay down on the boardroom table maybe in the.
Yeah. And the best part is like this wasn't us being like, let's find somebody to get our logo tattooed on their body. Corey reached out like 3 months ago and was like, guys, I want to get an Edmonton Sports Talk tattoo. And I was like, well, let's wait until playoffs. And in the middle of round 1, we'll do it. And it'll be a nice little hype train. So, yeah, tomorrow morning, live on the show, Corey B is going to be getting an Edmonton Sports Talk tattoo. So if you like that idea, hammer a thumbs up for us.
He's up for it.
That'd be great. 1,000 likes today, he'll get the tattoo on his face. So don't be shy over on YouTube. But that's an actual thing that's happening tomorrow. A human being is having the Edmonton Sports Talk logo. If you're watching it on YouTube, the one down in the far corner over there, he's having that logo tattooed on his body. And not like a kid's sticky tattoo, like a real ink job.
The needle.
Happening tomorrow right here in the Edmonton Sports Talk.
See the new neighbors down the hallway, too? You got a tattoo shop down there now.
What?
Just down the... Right, Zach? Down by the bathroom there. Yeah,
in the corner?
Yeah, I met the individuals. They're all moving in, and so we got to... It's funny how that happens. I mean, just a little late, but...
Well, I mean, if we would have known, we could have
partnered with them. Wouldn't that have been something?
Now we're bringing in a rival tattoo artist.
But if you ever want some ink, I guess you can just waltz on down the hall and...
Well, that scares me a little.
They got some deals on it, too, I think, right?
Yeah. Well,
There's some...
2 for 1s.
There's something like that, yeah.
Holy smokes. Anyway, this is pretty cool that Corey's going to be getting our logo tattooed on his body. That's pretty sweet.
Guess where? Or any suggestions? 780-218-9999.
He hasn't told us where yet, has he?
He was kind of workshopping with me last night at the bar there, but it won't be on the hand confirmed. I kind of dismissed that.
If anything is going to turn this series around, which doesn't really need to be turned around because it's just 1-1. But if anything's going to get things back on track for the Edmonton Oilers, it's Corey B getting a real-life Edmonton Sports Talk tattoo.
Tomorrow's going to be big in terms of exercising for the Game 3. The tattoo, the playoff song.
Yeah. Oh, big day.
The turn happens.
Big day. Tomorrow, things turn around.
It's the turn.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Today, we break down the loss. Tomorrow, things turn around. Let's get into your morning announcements. For 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. We are at about 100 likes right now. If we hit 200 before 7 o'clock, I will tell you the exact moment I knew the Edmonton Oilers were going to win this series. If we don't get it before 7 o'clock, I'll keep it to myself forever.
I'm glad you're back for a variety of reasons, but I do miss the chats with McCord and Yukon in the morning.
Oh, yeah, how was that? Was it good?
It's nice.
I chatted with the boys
It's just
today.
nice.
If you want to do
Nice
that
change of
sometimes,
pace.
just let me know. I don't want to talk to those guys every day.
No? Okay.
No, we can mix it up.
And I don't want to talk to them every day, but maybe just...
Yeah, see, I don't want to talk to them every day
If we split
either.
it, it's...
Anyway, yeah. Belineski says, Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo, or it's a waste of time.
That'd be neat.
Either way, a conch for Corey B., who will be getting tattooed live on the show tomorrow. Which still blows my mind. Colin Elsley says, you said 150 likes before 7:30 earlier. No, I didn't. I didn't say 150 likes before 7:30 was this child's play? Come on. Oh, we hit the 200 pace. 7 o'clock 200, 8 o'clock 400. Then we make a strong push towards 600, and not everybody's all sad because of the loss. All right, and to mix it up again today, I am going to be playing the Dylan Holloway goal song today. I know they lost and nobody wants to be happy today, but screw that. Dylan Holloway has been outstanding so far in this series, and we are going to play the Dylan Holloway goal song, and there's nothing you can do to stop us. So we're going to get to that. You said you played McDavid goal song for 5 assists.
You remember how we did Tuesday morning? That was a special time, so...
Was it good?
It was great.
Man, I miss being on the show. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, Kings over the Oilers 5-4 in overtime. Kopitar with the winner. We'll get into that. The whole second half of the 6 o'clock hour here basically going to be EM Utility locating morning after show. GCL Diesel postgame show was pretty good last night. People were pretty fired up. We'll get into some of that postgame. We'll probably hear from Skinner and Knoblauch saying that none of the goals were on Stuart Skinner last night. I disagree, Coach. We'll get into that as we work our way
Look
through
at Abby
the,
just strapping Skinner to his back, hey?
Yeah, he's
What a
just
coach.
he's
What a
helping him.
coach.
He's
Yeah.
helping him. It's like that. It's like the footprints in the sand with Jesus.
Oh, man.
Right?
Now we're getting
Where
emotional.
there
here.
was only one set of prints. Knoblauch carried Skinner on his back. Right? That's what that is, right? I think.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Put that on a card.
The Boston Bruins getting by the Maple Leafs 4-2. I watched a good chunk of that game prior to the Oilers game. And then after the Oilers game, when I was watching Tommy's post game and doing some prep for the show today, getting some hot takes ready, rewatched the short version of that game again. Pretty nasty at times last night between the Bruins and Leafs. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Marchand, what a shot.
What a snipe.
What a shot.
Sniped. Marchand scores! Oh,
Yeah.
Chris Cuthbert. Yeah, not much room up there. Top cheese.
yeah.
Who does Marchand think he is? Leon Draisaitl? By the way, well, we'll get to it with the morning after show. That save on Draisaitl last night? Holy smokes.
Talbot's back.
And the Vegas Golden Knights, powered by the spleen juice of Mark Stone, they lead Dallas 2-0, winning 3-1 last night. And maybe you should be worried about the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know. I said going into the playoffs, I still wasn't going to be overly worried about them because they've been so meh for so long.
Roll
but,
up the Undertaker gifts, right?
Stars fans got to be a little bit worried right now.
That's a concern.
Right.
Of all the places you don't want to go 2-0 down, I don't think Vegas is one of the that's one of the top play. They're going to have that play going on the screen and the whole
they're
bit.
gonna fight before.
Somebody's going to be doing the horn, and the Gila Monster will be out there. And
So, tough one there. Association yesterday, the Miami Heat.
hey,
Woo, Miami Heat going into Boston, getting a split 111-101 over the Boston Celtics, and the OKC Thunder rolling over the Pelicans 124-92 last night in NBA playoff action.
23 trays for the Heat, franchise record.
23 triples. Did Duncan Robinson? How many did do you have it up?
Pep.
How many did Duncan Robinson have? 'Cause I was gonna bet him over 1.5, and then I forgot. Please tell me he didn't have like 2 or 3 or 4. I mean, he's a shooter.
6 points.
6 points, but was it 2 threes?
I
bet you it probably
I'll-
was.
I'll bet
Just
on
a
it.
sec. I
Yeah.
have it up right
I'll-
here.
I'll
I was just
wager that
looking
it
at
was.
SGA. Gilgeous Alexander was excellent last night.
33.
Duncan Robinson, 2 threes.
Your man.
I knew it. I should have been on that over 1.5.
DR.
Oh, that's a tough one. Balaneski's in and says, guys, enough with the NBA talk already. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Shouldn't even have got into it. Dusty goes to America for a week, and he started out holding actual sports talk, hostage for likes. Not sure I like the new direction of EST. Probably just a phase. That's in from Grumpy Cat. Look, I was holding things hostage for likes before I went to the United States.
Yeah, where you been, man?
Yeah, we've been pushing these 400, 500, 600 like shows, and
And I said I wasn't doing that during the week that you were gone. I said I'm not going to beg. I did issue a few threats.
well, that's
But we
good.
tried hard to get to 700 in a day a few days, and we just came up just short.
Just short. That would have been pretty nice. That would have been pretty good.
We tried. I'm very proud of all of you,
Well,
each and every one of you.
like I said, if you want to know the exact moment I knew the
But
Oilers
now
were
that
going
you're
to
back
beat the
taking people
Kings,
hostage, it's
hammer the thumbs up, and I'll get to. I really want to share this. I know some people. Well, then just share it.
can't.
Oh. Let's just hammer the thumbs up, and we'll discuss things before 7:00. Mike is in and says Corey B's tattoo, the champ stamp. That's a nice way to look at it.
not on the back, but on the front.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Dad/unit. I don't know what's going on with that handle, but the 6 o'clock hour hits different at 2 in the afternoon in Prague.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do we have Prague on the map yet?
Put her on the map.
I don't know if we have Prague on the map yet.
Czechia.
Let's write that bad boy down. That's a real nice one. All right. Keep the text messages rolling in. We are going to dive into the game next. We're going to hear some post-game as well. Your EST big moment that happened last night. There's a few big moments in that hockey game. Fourth star of the game, 38th star of the game. We'll hear what Skinner had to say after the game. Didn't seem overly concerned. Talked a lot about the old puck luck. I don't know if you're going to be buying into that this morning, but we'll certainly get into that as well. But let's get to a sports update with LTE Morning After Show on the other side.
Oilers dropping game 2 to the Kings, 5-4 in overtime. Anze Kopitar with the winner, Dylan Holloway. He had a pair of goals for the Oilers, his first 2 of the playoffs in his career. Kulak notching his first of this season's postseason. Zach Hyman, his 4th of the campaign here. Stuart Skinner stopping 21 of 26 shots faced. Game 3 Friday night down in LA. The series tied at a game apiece. Elsewhere, Vegas going back home 2-0 up on the Stars following a 3-1 win down in Dallas. And Brad Marchand with a pair leading the Bruins over the Leafs 4-2. Boston lead that series 2-1. Pair of games tonight. Islanders host the Hurricanes down 2-0. Panthers, they'll take a 2-0 series advantage into Game 3 at the Lightning from Tampa. Blue Jays dropping another to the Royals, 3-2 your final. Jays will look for the series split. Later this afternoon, they'll send Jose Barrios to the mound. First pitch, 12:10. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hit 33 points as the Thunder defeated the Pelicans. 124-92. OKC now lead that series 2-0. Heat, meanwhile, with a franchise record 23 threes. They even their series with the Celtics at a game apiece with a 111-101 victory. 3 Game 3s tonight. Cleveland visit Orlando holding a 2-0 lead. The 76ers are at home to the Knicks down 2-0. And Denver look to go 3 up on the Lakers tonight down in LA. Back over to hockey. PWHL action saw Ottawa top Boston 3-2 in a shootout, while Montreal defeating New York 5-2. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of games. This sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services, whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
Being a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game.
Five-4 in overtime. Dick Veneret was getting all lubed up to call a winner. And then Kopitar has other ideas as the Los Angeles Kings get by the Edmonton Oilers. 5-4, game 2 in overtime.
Veneret walking out of the bathroom, hands still wet, just bringing him off. What
Here
the
we
heck?
go.
You know?
Yeah, buzzkill in the district. Buzzkill in the district. Adrian Kempe opened the scoring, his second of the series. Little wrister left kind of wide open in the slot after a turnover up along the boards. Bouchard played it up. It was too far for Nuge. Draisaitl came in with the old one-hander trying to poke it past Kopitar. Kopitar, ye old sunken eyes himself, had other ideas, took it away, found Kempe. Kempe rips it home. Kempe's second goal of the game, his third of the series. My goodness, what a play. That puck is in the air, deflected by Bouchard, who could have just taken his man instead of trying to make a play on a puck. And he got a piece of it, but then Kempe bats it out of the air.
Yeah.
Top corner.
Is that luck?
Absolutely ridiculous goal.
Pretty talented.
That's skill.
Yeah,
That's skill. That was an insane play by Kempe, who's a freak.
Oil killer.
Kings go up 2-0. Kulak rocket gets him back in at 2-1.
Playoff Kulak announces himself, eh?
It's about time he's here. Then like 30 seconds later, Drew Doughty on a breakaway looked like he was trying to fake forehand and go backhand. Nuge on the back check after he got caught kind of watching the play and not seeing Doughty jump him. Nuge gets a stick on it, throws Skinner off, weakly slides through, and it's 3-1. Holloway My God, announce your presence with authority, kid. Dylan Holloway with his first of 2 made it a 3-2 game. Hyman tied it at 3. The Oilers were all over him in the second, and I was thinking they were going to kind of run away with like a 5-3, 6-3 type of game at that point with the way that they looked in the second. And then Fiala gets one past Skinner. I know Skinner said, and we're going to hear some Skinner postgame coming up. I know Skinner said after the game that didn't really see that one, but still that's a tough one to get through. Then Dylan Holloway, who else, of course, ties it for the Oilers. And then Kopitar in overtime as the puck comes up the board, tipped over to Kopitar. Darnell Nurse watching it all unfold, and then moving too late on it. Kopitar walks in, rips one top cheese glove side on Stuart Skinner. That is your overtime winner for the Los Angeles Kings. This series is now tied at 1 game apiece. It is the morning after show for EM Utility Locating. EM Utility Locating. Don't kill yourself. Call 780-222-9497. Visit www.emutilitylocating.com. GPR and concrete scanning, damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. Bottom line is if you're doing a job, doesn't matter the size, and you've got to dig down somewhere that you can't see, Matt and his team at EM Utility Locating, they will help you out. www.emutilitylocating.com. The EST big moment that happened. What are you going with, Rick?
It's got to be the overtime goal. That's the decider. It's in a game like this. And I think Knoblauch mentioned it too post-game. You know, the Oilers, it's so much, and you know, in the beginning, and I guess maybe go back to the beginning of the game and the Kings opening the scoring and that kind of setting the pace. And the Oilers continuing to keep pace, but failing to just get over the hill, right? Tying things up, failing to take that lead. So it's the Kopitar goal to win it for me. And also with a sidecar, you showing up to Hudson's, which totally blew my mind. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Nice little surprise.
What a shock.
I was pretty excited when I found out you were there. Same thing. I went over and saw Corey V, went over and saw Tommy, and then I turned and looked, and I was just like, that looks like Lucas. And then I thought, hey, who's that right beside him? It's Lieutenant Eric.
Marshall there with some man.
Yeah, but who's that guy sit beside the guy wearing an EST hat?
Yeah, it's got to be, though, the winner. I mean, it was a nice time out there. Stayed for the first period. Hudson's, Bourbon Street. But wasn't.
I'm going to actually go late second period, 3-3 hockey game. Oilers on that power play at the end of the period, looking to get the lead. They fought their way back. They're tied at 3. They dominated the period. Power play. McDavid's buzzing around, comes out from behind the net, somehow weaves and dangles his way to the middle of the ice, and then the pass alone, the vision and the pass alone were ridiculous. But he throws it back through like the lane that he just created down to Draisaitl, who's lurking in his spot. And he gets all of it. And he one-times this thing. And Talbot comes flying. Talbot's following McDavid. He's tracking McDavid. It goes back to Draisaitl. Talbot gets across, stretches out, gets the glove down. Just makes an absolutely phenomenal save on what would have just been a highlight reel setup from Connor McDavid and would have put the Oilers up 4-3. They had the lead going into the third. I think that changes maybe the way the game goes. So I'm going to look to that Talbot save on Draisaitl with whatever it was, 17 seconds left in the second as your EST big moment that happened.
Hyman had an empty net look as well at one point with a pass. I think it was McDavid as well. Kind of fed him across. Hyman just got there a little too late. But open cage, I mean, easy to put.
CeCe had that great look too. Holloway ended up scoring shortly after, but
there were chances, eh?
This text is in. It says, big play of the game. Nurse still not knowing how to play D 10 years into his career. And that would be a discussion around the overtime winner, which we will certainly continue to get to as we work our way through the show this morning. Super stat of the night. Anything jump off the page for you?
Holloway's 2 goals are certainly encouraging, and I think that's something the team and fans and everybody can kind of take with them into Game 3 and forward. We discussed him prior to the postseason, turning himself on and growing in confidence, but certainly when you're looking at options and bright spots, 2 goals from Holloway, last night, I'm taking that. That's my super stat of the night on a night where maybe you kind of want to forget about the result, but very encouraging from him. And I'm sure that'll just add to his confidence and continue to, grow him inch by inch here.
I don't think there's another stat to look at.
It'll be tough
outside of Dylan Holloway last night. Dylan Holloway was outstanding. I mean, he's scoring with a quick release. Those shots were both terrific. I think you have to go with Dylan Holloway's stat line last night as your super stat of the game. Bill the teacher, I see your text. I'm going to make a note. We're going to come back around to it. We'll get to a bunch of your text messages after we work our way through the morning after show because there's a lot of reaction coming in at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and we will get to those. Yeah, lots of them. So we'll continue to get to that. Let's get to your fourth star of the game from last night. 3 stars last night. Kempe, deservedly so. The first star. Holloway, the second star. And a 3-point night for Anze Kopitar. He's the third star of the hockey game. Who's your fourth star of the hockey game?
Going to go with Drew Doughty. Got the goal.
How much did he end up
half
playing
hour
last
of
night?
ice time. Just less than a minute short of a half hour. But he was out there. I mean, that's you turn to your guys, you turn to your leaders, you turn to your big boys, and he's certainly one of them. He was out there buzzing. I mean, not the most impressive stat line, I guess, but just that time on ice and taking that leadership role. And that was huge. I'll also give a shout out to Cam Talbot as well in that regard. I think he can kind of split the two.
Like that was the difference in the goalies. Like
going from game one, right? And you needed a response, and I think he provided a response. 871, yeah, that's. But I still think in certain times, and as you mentioned, that highlight save in the
and there was a few. He had another great save on Draisaitl.
Better than his game one.
Spot.
Yeah.
Like the 38th star of the game for me, I am going to go with Stuart Skinner. I don't want to hang the entire loss on Stuart Skinner, but Stuart Skinner, we're going to hear from Stuart Skinner here coming up the post game. But Stuart Skinner was the least valuable player on the Edmonton Oilers last night, I thought. I didn't like Corey Perry's game. That's another guy that you could have factored in here. Nurse in the overtime winner was just, I mean, how are you getting beaten on that play by Anze Kopitar at what should be the tail end of his career? Like, come on, you can't. How does Kopitar get that? CC goes up the boards, boom, play comes over. Nurse is sort of watching it develop, and by the time he realizes, oh, I got to get on my horse here, it's a great look for Kopitar, and you don't want to see him go a high glove like that on Skinner. But I mean, if that goes the other way, you're like, what a shot by Draisaitl. Right, like Kopitar, it was a nice shot. Yeah. Give the guy credit. It was a nice shot.
Goal off Nurse's foot in game one.
There were worse goals that Stuart Skinner allowed in the game last night than the overtime winner. We'll say that. So 38th star of the game, though, will be Stuart Skinner. The EM utility locating Steady Eddie of the evening last night for the Edmonton Oilers. And I know in a game that goes 5-4, you're kind of sitting there going, I don't know who's the Steady Eddie. We already discussed Dylan Holloway. I can't believe I'm going to do this, and somewhere Tommy Gazzola is going to be very stoked about this. But Matthias Janmark, 2 assists last night, +2, played almost 11 minutes, had 5 hits in the hockey game as well. When they threw that line out there, they did not play much. But Sam Carrick had an assist, 5 hits, only played 7:30. Dylan Holloway had 2 goals. He didn't even play 10 minutes last night. And then Matthias Janmark with a couple of assists as well. So I'll say Matthias Janmark on a night where not a lot of guys would probably qualify for the Steady Eddie of the evening. I'm going to give Matthias Janmark a little bit of playoff love in the Steady Eddie of the evening for EM utility locating.
Where's the wrench? Where are you?
Yeah.
Should be popping up in the
Tommy the wrench. Somewhere he's sleeping. He's like, what? Did Matthias Janmark just get the Steady Eddie of the evening? Yes, he did, Tommy G. Yes, he did. If you are listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, please tell your friends. Please like our channel on those apps. And if you are watching over on YouTube, almost to 160 likes. If we hit 700 before, I'm going to tell you the exact moment I knew the Edmonton Oilers were going to win the series. No big deal. Probably mixing the Holloway goal song, too, if we can get there. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's going to look really bad if they end up losing this series. People are going to be like, Dusty, you said, Dusty. But I'm still very confident in them winning this series. And there was a moment in the first 2 games I was like, well, that's it. They're going to win this series. But are you legitimately concerned about Stuart Skinner? 780-218-9999. Hammer the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. I did see some people. This is not me. I would stick with Stuart. Look, last year, Skinner was not good in the playoffs. Campbell came in and actually played decent when he got in, and they still wouldn't start him. Like, they're not going away from Stuart Skinner for Game 3. I saw some people last night on Twitter and on the post-game show saying, I go to Pickard in Game 3. Look at the numbers from the regular. I get it. It's not going to happen.
How short is the leash, though?
There's 0 chance Knoblauch starts Pickard in Game 3. There's 0. None. Zilch. What do they say in soccer? 0-0. There's 0 chance that this is going to happen. Here's Stuart Skinner after the game last night.
Yeah, it was back and forth. I thought we took over the game in a lot of different situations tonight. I thought the guys played really well in front of me.
What did you think of your game?
It was okay. I thought I didn't really do too much. I don't think I was a big factor in the game tonight, and that's okay. I'm gonna get better from that and move on.
How did you see the winner? Like all of a sudden, the Dozen title.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why they were dumping the puck in like that, and then it just goes off a stick right on his tape and doesn't bounce off it. Gets a nice shot off goal and out of there.
Some different goals, right? Kempe's juggling a puck at you out of the air. A shot from the hash marks that went through two guys and gets in. We don't know if you saw that puck even, or it wasn't a routine night. Some of the chances were kind of weird. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's very fair. Since the third period, the game before, just really tough bounces are happening. That's not saying that it leaked into tonight. It's just like they're getting some good puck luck right now. We've also had our fair share of puck luck as well, so that's how hockey works sometimes. And it just wasn't puck luck wasn't on my side tonight.
This is part of what, you focus a lot on the mental side of the game and maybe not too high when it's good, not too low when it's bad. This is sort of what all that effort is for, is these sorts of moments.
Exactly. Games like this where, again, you feel like the universe is against you and that, the puck's just not working well for you and, all these things. It's part of life. I'm sure we've all had those feelings before, it's part of playoffs too. Like I'm sure I'll feel this again at some point. I hope that I get to feel this again at some point, and if we get on a stretch here. The takeaway for tonight is just kind of wash it out. I know who I am. I know my game, and I'm going to get back to work.
Steve, you've talked about.
All right, there you go. That's Stuart Skinner, part of what he had to say last night. I found it interesting. Like, he seemed like, first of all, I think it's a positive that he doesn't appear to be rattled. Like, I don't think Skinner gets rattled by too much.
People seem to want him to be. That's,
but people,
in a way, I guess maybe just showing a little more emotion or something like that. I'm not too sure.
I also don't know if I just buy into the puck luck theory. Was Skinner just unlucky last night, and that's why he was beaten 5 times, or was it he didn't play well, and that's why he was beaten?
Maybe
5
the
times?
puck finding its place to those certain situations is the luck phase, but then he has to make the save. Like, I think the puck may be going, as they say, ricocheting off the boards, Kempe bringing it down. That was skill, but all these things happening. But then he still has to make the save. But he was getting a little Devin Cooley there near the end, talking about just life and how, really expanding that whole thing. But I don't know. I clearly not flustered.
So they're down 2-0. They get the goal, and then right away, Doughty gets a breakaway and he scores. And I know a lot of people were freaking out about that goal. And I texted Gager on it because I was just like, Skinner's bracing to push to his right because Doughty looked like he was going to pull the old fake and try to go backhand. So that's why his leg was kind of out because he was ready to push and go. And then News lifts the stick and it sort of slides through. And I can see where he's coming from, like tough luck on that one. But also that's one that you'd like to have sort of locked up.
You left the door
there,
open there. And it's
right?
Just,
that wasn't great. The one that Kempe batted out of the air, what are you supposed to do on that one? But I still didn't necessarily like his game last night. He looked like he was scrambling a bit more than usual as well. There was that one awkward one he came across in.
Well, he stopped Fiala point blank too early on in game 1, and I thought that was big in terms of starts and everything. We talked yesterday too about how the Kings would be ready to go in that first 10 minutes. And again, them scoring 5 minutes in, I think that kind of, that opens things up. Wyshynski said yesterday too with us that, he's not the guy that maybe will win you a cup in Stuart Skinner, but he could be the guy that prevents you from winning a cup in the end.
Yeah, and I saw those take, like, there's a lot of the text messages have already been rolling in here. Like EA, for example. EA texts in, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. Skinner is not taking this team anywhere. Another lost season.
Aye.
So I mean, there's that type of reaction today as well.
He's got a hell of enough team in front of him to outscore. I mean, if it works, fine, it could work. But it nights like last night, and when the offense just can't get over that hill and take that lead or whatever, like it's just the Kings got that one, they got the two, and then you're kind of playing that catch up. And I just thought, from night one in game one, it was that total opposite. Where yes, Skinner then can kind of get comfortable and play in, but you're up against it early on. I don't know. It's more than just puck luck, but
yeah, I would agree with that. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If we hit 200 likes before 7 o'clock, I'll play the Dylan Holloway goal song. Because, I mean, as far as positives go, Dylan Holloway was excellent last night. 24 more likes over on YouTube to hit that. Let's hear a little bit from Knoblauch. I thought Knoblauch was... Well, let's just listen to the first part of Knoblauch here. Here's head coach Kris Knoblauch on the morning after show today.
Of tonight's game where you guys had, chances, you guys came back, and ultimately it wasn't enough. What are your overall thoughts after?
Yeah, I thought in the first period, we dug ourselves a big hole, down 2-0, 3-1. But after that, I thought we played a lot better, especially in the second period. And for me, it just felt like if we were able to get the lead, we could have finished the game. But we never quite been able to do that.
A lot of kind of hard luck chances around your goaltender, Stuart Skinner, but he did allow 5 goals. What do you make of his performance tonight?
Yeah, no, I thought there was a lot of, not as bad as the other night, with unfortunate events in game one where broken stick, 2-on-0, and 2 off our defenseman's skates. The first game I thought he played really well tonight. Not that any of those goals were bad. You look at some of them, the game-winning goal, that breakaway, another breakaway, Doughty loses control of the puck. So I think I'm not faulting him on any of those goals.
Kris, one of the positives tonight was Dylan Holloway's game. What did you see in him tonight offensively on top of all the forechecking and stuff that he's given you before?
No, he played really well tonight. I was very happy with him, obviously skating and the confidence of him shooting the puck. The catch and the release has been something that he's worked on a tremendous amount in the past 2 years here. And, it's paying off. He played a really good game.
There you go. That's Knoblauch. I thought the interesting part that I wanted you to hear, if you missed it last night, was Knoblauch saying he didn't put any of the goals on Stuart Skinner. I think that's a coach just having the back of a goaltender in this series. I don't think as a coach he could sit there and be like, oh, yeah, none of these are on Skinner. I mean, the thing is Talbot wasn't great at the other end either. Like a few of the goals the Oilers scored on Talbot, you're like, but
better than game one.
But Talbot made 2 or 3 huge saves that Skinner just didn't give you in the game last night. I think that's a fair way to assess things. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in your thoughts on the Oilers. A split here for the Kings. They got to be happy heading home. Penner's Pancakes over in the Nasty Chat, I think, laid it out how I would still sort of view things. A split in Los Angeles, and then the Oilers take games 5 and 6, and they win in 6. I could still see that.
Or EA and the Paris Drulers inbox. Skinner's not taking this team anywhere another lost season. So
yeah,
series tied at a game apiece. Opening round.
I'm going to give... Well, it's tough because I want to give Skinner the benefit of the doubt, and I do think, and maybe this is just a narrative I'm making up, but he bounced back well during the regular season this year, did he not? I feel like after games where people were panicking about Skinner, he would deliver some pretty good games. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this time going into Game 3. I don't have a lot of time for the start Pickard in Game 3 conversation. Let's see where it goes. However, last year with the way he played down the stretch, I probably would have said the same thing in the playoffs last year for Skinner, and it never really sort of figured itself out. So I understand where the conversation's at on goaltending right now. So
Hampton Steve says, morning boys, I'm actually even more confident the Oilers are going to win the series after last night. Skinner played horrible. Bouchard struggled. Top 6 weren't great.
Still went to overtime.
Conversely, Talbot and the Kings' best players played as good as they can. All this happened, they still almost won. So that's where Hampton Steve is coming out, and I think that's more of a measured look at all this.
Another way to look at it, for sure. I said if we got to 200 likes, I'll tell you the exact moment I knew the Oilers are going to win this series. and we'll probably give you the Dylan Holloway goal song. We got Gazdic coming up. We got time for the song. We hit the number. Well done. Holloway. Exciting to see what Dylan Holloway's doing. We'll discuss what you do with him in the lineup with Gazdic coming up here.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway go. Holloway go. He can dangle hands so sick. Back of the net, right off his stick. Holloway go. Holloway go. Holloway go. Holloway go.
Here's a beautiful center pass, one-timer score. And there's Holloway, set up by McDavid.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show.
Dylan Holloway goal song. 2 goals last night for Dylan Holloway. Excellent shots. Didn't even end up playing 10 minutes, but in a very effective less than 10 minutes last night from Dylan Holloway. I did say earlier, all of our songs obviously brought to you by Sportball. Check them out, www.sportball.ca for more info on all the sports programs that they offer. And they're hammering out the summer registration right now. So if you want to get your kid into a camp with Sportball, which I very much suggest you do, visit www.sportball.ca and check out their summer camps. Let's pack those things here with children of the AM Nasty. Okay, so I know they lost game 2. I still think they win the series. And the moment it was early in game 1. And maybe if Stuart Skinner struggles, it throws a wrench into things here on my thought process. But Adam Henrique's goal, the second goal of game 1, from a distance, just shooting it past them.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, oh, they're going to win this series. Like, Cam Talbot, nothing. I know Talbot was better than Skinner
Adam
last
Henrique
night.
Goal. Hey, that's
but that was it. Like, okay. I know it's so bizarre.
I love it.
But when Adam Henrique scored the second goal of game 1, from where he shot that puck, and the fact that it got past Talbot, I was like, oh, the Edmonton Oilers are winning this series. That was the moment. When they win the series, you got to come back. Dustin, you were right. Goal 2, game 1. That was it. Now, Talbot outplayed Skinner last night, but Skinner wasn't good last night. Talbot made a couple of huge saves last night, but Talbot is there for the taking for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm just curious on what the conversation's like on the other side, and if the Los Angeles Kings view it the same way with Stuart Skinner. Maybe they do. We're going to get into that with Luke Gazdic. He's coming up on the other side, but Adam Henrique from distance, straight up beating Talbot. I was like, if goals are going to go in like this for a team that's a high-scoring team. Like, there's so much talk, and I was sitting with LeBrun and Rashog at the game last night. They were talking a lot about, like, the 1-3-1. But we'll ask this with Gazdic on the 1-3-1, because I know I did the podcast previewing the series. Like, the Oilers are not necessarily being contained offensively, I think, so far in this series. So how much is that actually factoring into it? Like, the Kings usually, you wouldn't pick the Kings to win games 5-4, right? The Kings are going to try to win games 3-1. So we'll see. I think this series is still going the way that Edmonton will eventually want it to go, but we'll get into it. Luke Gazdic's on the other side here. Eric's got a sports update for you. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. If you're listening on TuneIn, on iHeart, or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tell your friends how easy it is to consume EST. We would appreciate that. Luke Gazdic coming up here just after 7 o'clock.
Anze Kopitar with the overtime winner. Kings take Game 2 by a score of 5-4, evening that opening round series at a game apiece. Game 3 Friday night down in L.A. Elsewhere, the Golden Knights going back to Vegas 2-0 up on the Stars following a 3-1 win in Dallas. Brad Marchand had a pair. Bruins double up the Leafs 4-2 to take a 2-1 lead in that series. Pair of games tonight. Islanders host Carolina down 2-0. Panthers, they'll take a 2-0 series lead into Game 3 with the Lightning from Tampa. Blue Jays dropping another of the Royals 3-2. Jays will look for the series split this afternoon when they send Jose Barrios to the mound. First pitch, 12:10. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 33 as the Thunder knocked off the Pelicans 124-92. OKC now lead that series 2-0. Miami Heat with a franchise record 23 trays. They even their series at the Celtics at a game apiece with a 111-101 victory. 3 Game 3s tonight. Cleveland visit Orlando holding a 2-0 lead. The Sixers are at home to the Knicks down 2-0. And Denver look to go 3-0 up on the Lakers. That Game 3 tonight down in LA. Back over to hockey. Ottawa topping Boston 3-2 in a shootout in PWHL action, while Montreal defeating New York 5-2. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of games. Sports update brought to you by the Sports Bar and Lounge at Centric Casino on Fort Road. Your home for all of the Oilers playoff action. Don't miss a minute of the Cup run. Catch all the action at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.7:03 in the morning after Game 2 last night. And what's this? I'm looking outside. The sun did come up today. What? The sun still came up. In fact, the sun came up very early today. It was like light out before we even went on the show today.
Someone called that luck.
Oh, that's puck luck right there. We will continue to break this game down. Your text message is on it, 780-218-9999 to the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning. And we are coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. Buffalo chicken wrap and the buffalo poutine now available at all Popeyes locations. If you want to get your hands on something delicious, we suggest you go visit our friends at Popeyes. Our hockey insider today and every day, brought to you by our great partners over at Pro-Am Sports. They've got a private signing with Ronnie Lowe. The deadline on that bad boy is May 6th. He's just one of the good guys, one of the good dudes. If you're looking for some J stuff, they've got you covered over there at Pro-Am as well. Another J season underway, but it is playoff time. If you do not yet have a car flag, do you even support the team? We'll get into that. You can get your car flags over at Pro-Am Sports as well. Mr. Gazdic, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good, fellas. How was San Diego, Dusty?
Man, San Diego's I know you told me, because I think we were texting right before I went down there, like, love it. Was there for a couple years. San Diego's an amazing city, buddy. Holy smokes.
What a city. What a place to play hockey, man. It was a great place to end my career, I'll tell you that.
What was the support like down there for the American League team?
So both the years I was there and the year previous, it was a 3-year AHL record. They led the league in attendance, just under 10,000.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So we were about 9,800 we averaged the 2 years I was there. It was incredible. Older building, but they came out and supported us. And they had Friday. They had, dollar night with a couple colleges in town. It was just an unreal place to play.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know it would be that well attended. Yeah, that's incredible. We checked out Petco, went to a baseball game. It was phenomenal. Just a great city, man. I can't wait to go back. We're gonna have to go back because we didn't do the zoo. Like people are like, how do you not do the zoo? And we went to SeaWorld. We went to Legoland. We hit up a beach. We went to the Jays game. Just didn't have time for the zoo, so I'm gonna have to go back for the zoo, Luke. Which I hear good things about.
Petco's awesome too. What a baseball stadium that is.
Yeah.
One of the nicest that I've been to for sure.
Yeah, when I sat down and they announced they're like, baseball, number one baseball stadium in America. I was like, what? This is great. We're here. We made it to number one. It's amazing. All right, the Edmonton Oilers last night, they dropped Game 2 in overtime. We were listening to Stuart Skinner earlier talking a little bit about puck luck last night. I see some, you know how it is in a market like this. Hell, Luke, you went through it. Like, people are freaking out for sure. When you watch that game last night, were the Kings getting some bounces? Is that what this was? Was there more to it? Does it change the way you view the series? How do you break down last night's tilt?
Yeah, I saw him last night too, post game live, talking about the bounces. Listen, there were a couple that probably could have gone their way. The Byfield one on the winner included. I still don't even really know what happened there on the wall. But listen, at the end of the day, you got to get some saves. I don't think he was the reason they lost, but the Fiala one, especially off the wall, he just didn't look set. Kelly Rudy talked about him a bit in the intermissions and thought I thought he spoke pretty well about him. He just didn't look himself. It was a little bit different than I'd seen in starts past, but I don't think he was the reason they lost. Anytime you score 4 goals, though, you should win the hockey game. That was a huge thing from coaches throughout my career. If you can put a 4 spot on the board, you should usually end up coming out on top. But just a couple straight shots for Skins that I thought he should have. He did make some big ones, though. I'll give him that. Cammy Talbot on the other side, though, boys, was pretty good.
Well, Talbot, from game 1, Luke, I mean, being called upon in those certain situations, and I think we just said, in comparison to Skinner, outshining in those specific situations last night. But going into game 3, I mean, obviously Skinner will get the start. What's your leash with him right now, or what do you think the leash is with Knoblauch and Skinner following last night, if there should be any question of said leash?
Yeah, I don't really even know if there is too short of a leash. This is your guy. I think he's got the keys right now. You let him have it. It would take something pretty dramatic for me to happen over the next game or two to have Calvin in there. Just because I think Skins has done it, the back half of the year. He's been their guy. He's got to be their guy. You got to instill some confidence in him as well. But in saying that, they got to go on the road and win a couple games here, or at least get a split. So kind of we'll see what happens in that.
It's like every time I watch Adrian Kempe, I'm like, wow, Adrian Kempe is awesome. And last night, he scores the first one, his second of the series. Then he bats the one out of the air that hit Bouchard's stick right before he made a play on it. I mean, that's just next level stuff. I mean, this guy's a stud.
He's a stud, and he loves playing against the Oil. I think that's seven goals, something like that.
Absolute
in the playoffs
killer.
Against. And listen, I don't know. For me, I wasn't a huge scorer, but I will equate it that there's just some teams that you play well against, that you like playing against. It might be the building, might be the jerseys, whatever it is. It was on both ways. There were some teams that I knew I wasn't going to have a great game against, and some teams you just feel more comfortable. But man, I don't want to say underrated hockey player anymore. This is a perennial 30 goal scorer. He knows how to finish, and he steps up in big moments, right? Like there are just times and opportunities where he gets it and it's in the back of the net. He's an Oiler killer, man. And I don't know if you can contain him or defend him any differently, but he is certainly money right now.
Luke, certainly trying to draw a positive out of last night's game. Dylan Holloway, a pair of goals just under 10 minutes ice time. I know that fourth line, too, getting a little praise this morning, but what would you expect? I mean, we talked about him leading down the stretch of the regular season, kind of growing in confidence ever since he's come back, had a good stint down in Baco, but what, if any, changes would you, additions, subtractions, going into Game 3, looking at the lineup, and what would be your plans for Holloway, if any, in terms of elevation or something like that, heading into Game 3?
Yeah, he's playing some really good hockey, guys, and he's certainly forced the issue, not only getting in the lineup, but now he's forcing his way up the lineup. I think going into this, maybe it was just me, but I kind of thought it would be between a guy like Janmark and Holloway, but they've both looked good in the lineup together. There was a brief snippet where it was after Corey Perry's penalty in the second, where it was on a change, where Holloway ended up on McDavid's left side with Hyman. And I'll tell you, that looked good. That looked really good. It was about as fast as it gets. And, I started thinking about lineup changes. The thing I like about Dylan on the fourth line is that he gives that fourth line a different dimension, and you need to spread out your scoring a little bit. That's a good thing to have when you can have some secondary depth scoring, but I might think about throwing him on that top line where Henrique is right now. I don't know if you slot in Rico now on the second line, maybe bump Fogues down to the fourth line left slot, because I don't know. I've really liked Perry and Kane together, and there was another shift right after that where Henrique was in the two of them, and that looked like a really good line as well. So I think this is a good thing for Knobs to have, is some decisions to make, but I'll tell you, man, Dylan's earning every single minute he's playing out there. He was on the last minute of the game. I think from 30 seconds under, he was out there. He's been responsible defensively, and he's just brought this kind of energy and jump that has been really refreshing to see.
Yeah, he's been outstanding so far. It's funny because I saw some people. Knoblauch, especially over the last couple months of the season, was not hesitant to kind of mix the lines up to the point that they started the playoffs with Henrique, with McDavid, which we didn't really see a lot since he got here. So how much tweaking can you do after one playoff loss? Like McDavid talked about it, I don't know, I guess it would have been probably a couple of weeks ago, saying like that's just who they are. Like they're a team that moves their lines around, like they move guys around. So do you be who you are here, Luke, or do you try to not like give the Kings any sort of like, oh look, they're nervous, they're switching up the lines? Like how would you approach this?
It's a good question. And I think I wouldn't want to be throwing them in a blender, but I think it gives them a different dimension and a different look if they do switch a couple things up. I don't know. It also depends on the matchups too, right? And now they don't have the opportunity of having last change heading on the road. So that's a big thing for them, right? If they're going to mix up their lines, they've been pretty reliable defensively. And I think that's the biggest thing is now they have that luxury of deciding who they want on the ice last. And if I were Knobs, maybe a subtle tweak, but you don't want to mix too much up in the playoffs because there's some good chemistry happening right now between a couple guys in the lineups that, a couple lines are starting to develop. So I don't know how much I'd be changing.
A lot of criticism on the overtime winner for Darnell Nurse, giving Kopitar the space that he had. I don't know if we just didn't get a great look at it, but I'm with you. I don't know what ended up happening along the boards to get that puck right to Kopitar. But where do you come out on how Nurse plays that? How's he play that better?
Honestly, that play right there in the neutral zone, in his defensive spot, you should gap up, but you don't have to be right on top of your man. You don't have to have a stick length there. That's not the way they play. It's not a straight man on man, even in the neutral. But I mean, that's a dynamite play by Kopitar. Like he gets it and he's gone. I just think along with everyone else that they probably thought that was going to be an icing. And that's what happens in the playoffs and overtime, man. You take a second off, you sag for 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and it's in the back of your net. So I don't exactly fault Darnell for that. He's probably got to be a little closer on it, but he doesn't have to be right in Kopi's hip pocket, especially when a play is getting rimmed down the other side of the wall. I wouldn't fault him too much on that play.
Luke, before we just switch over to another series here, one last one on the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. And, it's 1-1 right now. It's not the end of the world here for this team. Where do you think the Oilers are at mindset wise, being a heavy favorite coming into this series, now losing home ice advantage, but going back down to LA? I mean, I would assume they're probably in a pretty good spot mentally still.
I'd be feeling good. And I know you kind of touched on this before I got on, but these games, these high scoring games, 5-4, the more these go, this favors the Oilers.
Yeah.
This is not a Kings team that's equipped to win those games every night, especially with the goaltending that they had. I know Taubes had played well last night, but defensively in net, and I don't want to say their lack of offense, their lack of production, but this style of play, man, we focused on this really, really in detail with Winnipeg and Colorado on Tuesday night, because Winnipeg is trying to play this north-south track meet style with the Avs, and it's not going to work. And I see that the same in this series too. I just think Edmonton is fine playing this style. You don't want to have to outscore them every night, but if it comes down to it, they can do it. So I'd be feeling pretty good heading down to LA if I was an Oiler.
Gaz, before we let you go, how heavily are you involved in Willie Watch with Nylander and what's going on in Toronto? What's happening over there, man?
I've heard enough, to be honest. I just got off Toronto radio, and I think everyone's, I don't want to say panicking a little right now, but it's just so bizarre, right? Because he's skating and everyone's trying to find out what's going on, and he just means so much to the team.
Yeah.
Like their power play went 0 for 5 last night. It's been atrocious. They need him back in a bad way. He gives them a different look for sure. But yeah, people are stalking him, taking pictures on the streets, and everyone has a different theory about what's going on. There's conspiracies flying everywhere. You go for a coffee, no matter where it is. Everyone's talking, where's Willie? So hopefully he's back for, the next tilt here on Saturday night, and he gives the Leafs a little bit of a boost because they certainly need him.
Playoff hockey. It's a fine time to be following all these storylines. It's good. Keep up the good work, Gaz. We'll chat next week, man.
Thanks, guys. Go Oil.
There you go. That's Luke Gazdic with Sportsnet Mid-Top Podcast as well.
I knew it. An appearance from him on a Thursday morning, nothing to fear. Just like watch Luke. He'll settle you down here.
If I had to ask you right now, the Oilers and Kings play a best of 5. Who are you taking? You're taking the Edmonton Oilers. It's going to be okay. Everything is going to be fine.
Who had a sweep? You have a sweep? Nobody had a sweep. I'm looking for sweeps. Nobody. I didn't hear anybody crowing about here we are.
Can somebody please text in the last Stanley Cup champion that went 16-0? Can somebody please mention this?
Waiting.
Because I'd love to hear it. We'll wait all day. Teams lose in the playoffs. Okay, and Gaz is right. We're gonna, the Los Angeles Kings didn't beat the Oilers last night playing the Kings game. Like if the Kings want to play that type of game, the Edmonton Oilers are winning the series.
Yeah, and if they're mad on the road, I like this team on the road. I like it when there's a little adversity with this team, and they get a little, shall we say, air quote, pissy. I don't mind that in their game, and maybe they need this. Maybe they needed last night to kind of get on here.
What say you? Where's your head at right now on this series? We'll get to some of your text messages. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Apologies with some of the whale and the wolf cutting in over. This is a new thing. This was not happening.
Yeah. It's been happening periodically, but if you hear this, once again, apologies. Appreciate the patience.
It's just a second or two.
And we're trying to troubleshoot it. So you help with that. We're trying to get this rectified. So if you ever hear it, let us know. We'll mark it down. We kind of want to map this thing out and really get into it and fix it once and for all. So let us know. Appreciate the patience. We'll just move forward.
Do we look ridiculous this morning being like, it's going to be okay? I don't think so.
You can't.
I don't think
so.
so.
In the opening round, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's they're going to lose some playoff games.
I know where we are. I get it.
It's going to happen.
And what we're doing and all this. But, we can't be. Come on.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Nino. Guys, now it's a long series thanks to our goalie once again.
Who says who?
The series could still be over in 5.
Yes, easily.
It's more likely looking like a 6-gamer now. We'll see how it sorts itself out. But I told you, the moment Henrique scored from distance in game 1, second goal, that was it for me. I was like, give them the series. They're going to win this thing.
Just like, again, the Capitals game here these things happen. You pick those moments. You know when they happen, and they carry on and go on a streak. Maybe this is the start of another, 16. Maybe the Henrique and the loss and everything kind of propels them out. Who's to say? It's game 2.
Some of you may sit here this morning and say, I think I saw Tube Sucks over in the Nasty Chat saying, the vibe is pretty negative in the chat this morning. Well, you know how you turn that around? With a thumbs up, with a like. All right, let's overpower the negative vibes with a like and a thumbs up. That'll get you back on track as I get set to read a bunch of text messages from people freaking out this morning. 780-218-9999. Jeremy's in and says, how many people were calling a sweep? Simmer the hell down, everybody. All right, exactly. I don't know many people. Did anybody pick a sweep? Somebody maybe somewhere might have picked a sweep. I said Oilers in 5. A little concerned for my prediction right now, but
5-6 is your general.
5-6 is probably where most people were.
I know there are a couple of sweeps out there, but nothing too public.
Chris from Fort Mac doing that homework for us. 1960, Montreal Canadiens swept the playoffs and won the Stanley Cup, but it was also only 2 playoff series, so they only needed to win 8 games. So yeah, you got that going for it, as well. Did see some people being guys, and the lineup construction here will be interesting to see how they do moving forward. I think they probably, I like the fourth line last night.
That's
like
that's,
the
that poses
TS
the
Janmark had
difficulty,
5
right?
hits, a couple of assists. Dylan Holloway had 2 goals. Carrick had a point. There was plus. Like I don't think you touch the fourth line because I saw some people earlier in the chat being like, "Well, what about Connor Brown for this or what about this?" I don't think so. I think
Derek Ryan, if you will.
I think what you do is you leave the exact same lineup together. That would be the ultimate twist because the Oilers have tweaked. They've moved guys around. I know Corey Perry. You'd like his game back last night. I don't think you're taking Corey Perry out of the lineup. I think what they should do, and I know some of you will say, bump Holloway up. How about Gazdic? Thinking about maybe throwing Holloway up with McDavid and Hyman. My goodness.
He caught a glimpse. You know, you catch that glimpse. You're walking by somewhere, what's that? You get your glimpse.
I got time for the conversation of
it's hot.
Moving Holloway up or finding him. He only played 10 minutes last night, a couple of goals. But I also have time for having a fourth line that you just really like. And the top line's fine. The McLeod, Perry, Kane line, they had their moments last night. I thought Draisaitl's line got hemmed in a little bit more than you would like last night. Maybe there are some tweaks coming no matter what anyway because they're going to be heading out on the road. We'll see how they approach that. But I think like they found here a pretty effective fourth line. I think I might just leave it the way it is for now because you don't need to panic here.
I think as Luke mentioned too, you're going on the road now, the line changed and all that. Re-rack it. Fire this at them again. And with a little more pissed offness in their game.
Guys, Perry had a good game. WTF, Dusty did not watch. What are you talking about?
No, you said...
I said the line had their moments. Corey Perry, earlier today, in the 6 o'clock hour, I said outside of Stuart Skinner was their worst player on the ice.
You also said
Pay
something.
attention.
You said something a couple minutes ago, which I know could be confused with you saying Perry had a good game and the way you chose your words. I know what he's talking about, but you didn't. That's not what he meant. You said
I don't even
something
remember
about
saying
I
that.
know you said something about Perry where it was a little. If you rewind the tape, but that's not what he meant. I got what you were putting down, but you said it in a fashion where it could be taken as he had
outside of the line had their moments.
Something like that.
I don't think I mentioned him.
He didn't. Let's just get that on the record. He didn't think Perry had a good game.
Matthew says Dusty said Perry would like to have that game back.
Yes, and so he's
meaning
thinking
it wasn't a good one. Yeah, exactly.
But he thinks he's taking that game and having it back for game 3. And that's not what not what he meant.
Ridiculous.
I don't know how you take that.
You think I'd watch that game last night and say Corey Perry needs to play that game again? Are you nuts? No, not the case. Some stranger says, guys, you shouldn't have to score 5 to 6 goals to win every single night. I don't think that'll be the case. I don't think they'll have to score 5 or 6 goals to win every game to win this series. (780) 218-90. Doofishby says, you said, don't mess with the Perry line. Yeah, I did say that. I said I said that line had their moments.
But Perry in particular, the individual, I think is what the...
I said you're not taking Perry out of the lineup. And I don't think you are. I don't think you're taking even though I said Corey Perry was one of the worst players on the ice last night. I don't think you're taking Corey Perry out of the lineup for Connor Brown right now. I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, first day back and they're coming at you here.
My goodness.
Wow, it's getting
you know
hot.
where I'm going? I'm
Wow.
going back to San Diego. I didn't even want to come back. Like usually on vacation, especially with kids, you're like, they're going to kill us. We have to get home. But not on this one. Like we wrapped up the trip. We're packing up to go home. And I was like, man, I think I'd like to stay for a few more days in San Diego.
It's these nasty children giving you the headache.
It's amazing. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Bonnie Doon Ron is in and says, this is going 7 games, unfortunately.
Well.
All right. iMac is in and says, boys, it's hard not to be concerned again about goaltending. Goalies win championships. Be better. So that's in from iMac, who's very concerned right now as well.
I mean, Jake Ottinger and the Dallas Stars are going to Vegas down 2-0. Hey, that would be a concern, right? What would you rather have, going down 2-0 to Vegas?
Should be concerned.
Yeah, going to LA tied at a game apiece.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. There was a real long text that came in somewhere. I don't know. You may have replied to it. I can't find it now. Wanted to get to that one. Let's see here. CB Radio Guy says, I wouldn't change that fourth line. Having 4 lines you can roll out, let them shut down the McDavid or Draisaitl line. They don't have the guys to shut down both lines, and that leaves a Holloway line and McDavid line to roll. McLeod line, I think he meant. How about Holloway now it's now a Holloway line? That's crazy. How good is that? All the Kings needed was for the Oilers to make some mistakes, and the Oilers did not disappoint in that regard. Well, let's quickly reset this conversation, and then we'll get to your cool bet hotline of the day. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. If you were listening on TuneIn or on iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please tell your friends how easy it is to listen on those free downloadable apps here in 2024. Like the Oilers didn't play well last night. Still took it to overtime. I mean, they're going to be okay.
Handful of goal game again, as Luke pointed out, and it's going to be fine. The Kings are tough. They're all tough outs in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like we're kind of going over all of these, famous sayings again about it's hard, it's tough. It's what it is, and we knew this series. Look, the Kings. Put yourself in the Kings' skates. 2 straight years going, like they're mad, they're pissed. They want to get this one. They're going to be extremely difficult. The Oilers should, skill-based and everything, still come out on top. But it could take a few odd turns here during this opening round.
Amish Man 19 is in and says, people are forgetting when the Oilers were up 2-0 on the road against Anaheim and still lost the series. I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take that heat on that one. Because after they went up 2-0 in that series, I did tweet out, this series is over. That's on me. I'm not going to be one of those guys who tweets things and then hides and runs and hides from it. I think that's brutal. I'm gonna own that one. A part of it, that series against the Ducks in 2017, the officiating. Remember? Then leg. What are we going to tell Corey? All that stuff.
And I know you wrote it down, but hooks and stuff on McDavid last night as well. I mean, there was a few texters wanting us to get into that landscape of things. Are we there yet?
I also thought they let some stuff go. Like McDavid at one point, way away from the puck. I know it probably wouldn't even have picked up on TV. We were watching at the rink. If you were there, you would know what I was talking about. Byfield went to pick up his stick in the corner, and the puck was almost at the other side of the neutral zone. And McDavid put Byfield down. I was just like, oh yeah, it's that type of stuff. That type of stuff happens.
McDavid getting pinballed around after the whistle by 3 Kings there. You see him just laughing around. How about that Hyman hit too? You must have felt that. You were there in the building.
Oh man,
your organs must have been.
I went like this after. Move your jaw around a little bit. I don't. Maybe I am a huge super duper homer.
Well, half full. You don't call
What's
it.
This is a little bit less than half full right now. But I still think they win this series, and I still think it gets it done before 7 games.
This text unsigned: the Oilers shouldn't be concerned about winning the series, but every game they waste makes it that much harder if they make it to the Final Four, and that is true. You wouldn't mind kind of getting out this thing, relatively unscathed, but I don't think
we're done. Get 2 games.
Who expected that?
We're 2 games into this series.
Can still do it in 5, not 4.
This series could still end in 5 games.
But could be 7.
Come on.
God, I love this.
I love it. We love the playoffs. This is why Edmonton Sports Talk exists. It's for these moments. But I think we need to just pump the brakes a little bit.
And look around the landscape. As Turd Ferguson says in Nasty Chat, Toronto lost. They're down 2-1. Again, going back to the Vegas-Dallas series as well. I mean, just take a second, take a breath, look around. It's going to be fine.
Barry to the Nasty Chat and says, the emotional roller coaster of the playoffs is fantastic. Not sure my heart can handle it, but may as well enjoy. People are saying Whale and the Wolf is rolling in again.
No, thank you. It's good. Yep.
Now it's continuous? Probably not continuous. Is it just on iHeart, or are people on TuneIn having the same issue?
It can be a little bit of both.
We're gonna have to sort that out. Maddie's working on it. We'll figure it out. The good news, I guess, is if you're watching on YouTube, that won't matter. Guys, it's on iHeart, but is it on TuneIn as well? Let's see. It says they're. Is it still playing over on the stream? pull it up, Zach. We'll see. Usually it just kind of cuts in and out. We're still rolling over on YouTube though, as well. So we'll try to get that. We'll try to get that sorted out.
And of course, it's during this show, not necessarily on the Hangout. So
yeah, I know.
Hey.
Yeah, they're playing constantly on. I mean, we love Lucas and Raimai, but that's got to stop.
Well, even Luke says it's getting a little annoying. I was talking with him last night. The guy in the band doesn't even want to hear it this much. Don't worry about yourself.
Luke is like, "What's up with us again?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. All right, we'll get that sorted out on the streams. We are still rolling over on YouTube here. Let's get your cool bet hotline of the day. NHL playoff action time. I'll be excited to get back in with Huss tonight on the lock shop today. NBA action tonight. The Lakers are favored at home. My goodness. I can't even do it tonight.
Back in, hey?
I can't even
the
do
Denver
it.
Nuggets, hey?
I can't even do it, man. It's just I don't know.
One for the hammy.
Let's
hey?
stick
Tonight,
to the
one for the hammer.
Let's stick to the NHL tonight. Let's go. Carolina Hurricanes and the Islanders. I know it doesn't matter. They're going home. Let's go Carolina Hurricanes in regulation tonight at plus 105. Plus 105. Let's go there. Carolina Hurricanes plus 105 in regulation tonight for your cool bet hotline of the day. I got beef coming up here just after 7:30. Eric's got a update for you right now. More of your thoughts. And there's one thing about Skinner that I get a little bit concerned about. One thing about Skinner, little bit concerned about, which I think is legitimate. We'll get to that coming up here as well. Sports update right now, though, with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers dropping Game 2 to the Kings 5-4 in overtime. Anze Kopitar securing the win for LA. Dylan Holloway with his first pair of Stanley Cup playoff goals. Kulak notching one as well. Zach Hyman recording his fourth of the postseason. Stuart Skinner stopping 21 of 26 in the loss. Game 3 goes tomorrow night down in LA. The series tied at a game apiece. Golden Knights, they're going back to Vegas up 2-0 on the Stars following a 3-1 win in Dallas, while Brad Marchand had a pair as the Bruins double up the Leafs 4-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Pair of games tonight. Islanders host the Canes down 2-0, while the Panthers take a 2-0 series lead into Game 3 with the Lightning from Tampa Bay. Toronto Blue Jays dropping another to the Kansas City Royals, 3-2 your final. Jays will look for the series split this afternoon when they send Jose Barrios to the mound. First pitch 12-10. Toronto return home to open a weekend series with the Dodgers beginning tomorrow. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 33 points. Thunder defeating the Pelicans 124-92. OKC lead that series 2-0. The Heat with a franchise record 23 three-pointers. They even their series at the Celtics at a game apiece following a 111-101 win. 3 Game 3s around the NBA tonight. Cleveland visiting the Magic. The Knicks are in Philly to battle the Sixers, and the Lakers at home to the Denver Nuggets. PWHL action saw Ottawa top Boston 3-2 in a shootout, while Montreal beat New York 5-2. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of games. An opening round of the NFL draft begins tonight at 6. Chicago Bears currently on the clock, holding down the #1 overall pick. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where dealer principal Mitch Lewicki also has Whale and the Wolf playing constantly all day at the dealership.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
7:35 in the morning. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much for watching on YouTube. Zacticum says we are back on iHeart, on TuneIn, and at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. So if you're listening over there, thanks for riding that out with us. We're trying to figure out what's going on lately with the Whale and the Wolf, and we love the boys, but we're going to have to figure out what's going on.
No, even they've had enough. And we will figure this out.
Yeah.
Matty, I want to look like a dog on a bone.
Oh, he's gonna figure it out. Guys, every time Whale and the Wolf cuts in, I get PTSD from that day you went off the air. Forget playoffs. I can't handle this anxiety.
No, won't be happening.
Actually, it's in a wild twist. Whale and the Wolf is paying us a ton of money to just have them cut in at these random times. Yeah, Zacticum's working on it. We'll figure out exactly what's going on over there. Matty Iwanek could get on this as well. We are continuing to roll on YouTube today. So if you're over on YouTube and you want to support the show, hammer the thumbs up. We appreciate that. We're going to continue with the conversation here on the Edmonton Oilers. Vegas keyword is coming up. Going to be tough with the stream having some issues this morning, but we'll give you that Vegas keyword and we'll give you some extra time to get in on it today as well. All right, let's get to I Got Beef for Acme Meats. You see Corey's tweet the other day?
Man, you want to talk about tattoos as well, hey? You see what he was getting? Full chest.
Full chest?
He's down on the table in the full chest, and I don't know what the mural was, but Corey will have to enlighten us there. I know he was chiming in the Paris Jewelers inbox here.
I wanted to talk about the Acme Meat Bomb.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that.
The cameo at Next Act Pub this week. Grab one to help support their butchery team, Canada, that's heading to the World Butchers Challenger in Paris, France. The Acme Meat Bomb. This thing's insane. Matzo stuffed Acme meat beef patty with cheddar, bacon, pickled onions, which they could hold for me if they wanted, and Hawkins cheesies. Hawkins cheesies on a burger, which is just insane.
Let's go.
Absolutely insane. That's going to be at Next Act Pub.
For a good cause, right?
But it's for a good cause. Help send that crew over to the World Butchers Challenge. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. They've been serving Edmonton for over 100 years. 9570 76th Ave. Buggy is in it. Says the Oilers were winning before Dusty came back to town.
It's a dicey game to play, taking some time during this season because things happen, and then you're like, "Oh, I can't mess with it." Right? It's routines, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But again, Gage and I doing Tales of the North 1-1 now, so that's like, now it's good.
That's not a horrible record. Like,
but you'll be back now. Like, you haven't done a show yet, right? So that's not. So you're doing a show today. You're doing a show tomorrow. You could be undefeated by the end of tomorrow night.
Strummy's in and says, "Guys, I'm eating Hawkins right now."
Confession, I polished off half a bag last night before I went to bed as well.
Did you really?
Overtime, so yeah.
Oh, lucky guy.
I don't mind a cheesy.
Lucky guy. Jason Dixon says, I see no issue with the stream. Jason, what are you talking about? On YouTube, things are working fine. It's on our audio streams on TuneIn, on iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We are having a few issues. Zach, one thing we could try is whatever the setting is that has Whale and the Wolf kick in, like between shows, just turn that off.
Flip.
I don't know how you make that. We got to. Maddie's call. Maddie and Zach are going to get on this right now because we could just turn that setting off. Whatever that setting is, I feel like we could probably turn that off. But we're going to try to get Iwanek to get this rolling. We apologize if you're over on YouTube. Scott the Chief is in and says, Whale and the Wolf is a marketing genius. I'm downloading all of their songs now. Lucas Autograph is now a must-have. Scott the Chiefs fan.
Somebody's saying, what is this, FM radio?
Yeah. That's the last thing you want.
It's good quality music. I mean, they do produce a good sound, but...
all right. Let's get to I Got Beef. Outside of these streaming issues right now, what do you have beef with?
Well, it is the beef right now. It's tough to ignore. I do have beef, though, with the fact that... And you know... I guess I have beef with the fact that Vegas are 2-0 up now on Dallas because now this whole talk about LTIR and everything doesn't go away. And we talked in the hangout yesterday with Belzy and Iwanek. If the Golden Knights, can you imagine a 4-game sweep? with everything that's transpired and developed. Now, again, lots of things can happen. They're only up 2-0, and the next 2 games are in Vegas. But I just feel another narrative developing here, which is going to get extremely loud and more loud than it already is surrounding, LTIR and Stone and Hurdle and the whole bit. I got beef with it. I'm tired of the narrative. And the other day, when it was announced that a handful of teams around the NHL were a little over the cap, right, in terms of player performance, bonuses.
Yeah.
Did you see the Golden Knights fans online going after this and being like, well, league's going to have to come down hard on this, hey? Cheaters and all this. I got beef that we're still focused on this. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me in my stratosphere, my realm that I see all this news and this heat around it. But I got beef with the way that series is developing. It is not good. Don't like it. We're all talking about paths for the Oilers and paths to the cup. I don't know, man. It's a scary notion right now. Not concern, legit fear.
Paul J in the Nasty Chat says, you guys are only available on YouTube right now. A cheap way to get likes?
That has nothing. I know you can connect the dots there quite easily, but
no, I'll say this: if we get to 600 likes, we'll turn the audio stream back on properly. No, Zach's working on it and try to get Maddie on this as well and try to get that sorted out for you. Here's my beef: we get it. So it's every year with every Canadian team that's in the playoffs. The playoffs start, and every fan base is like, we're the best fan base. No, we're the best fan base. Well, look what we can do. Look what we can do. And I got beef with every Canadian market thinking that they're the best fan base. This is the best. I don't know. Every year, it just gets on my nerves. People are like, Canucks fans are like, look at what we do. Canucks fans are the best. And then Oilers fans will be like, look at the mosh pit. It's incredible. And it is. It's great. And then Toronto, I don't even really put Toronto in the conversation. And then there's Winnipeg. And I have to say, when you watch a Winnipeg game, it's in Winnipeg, it does look pretty good.
The whiteout's fun. I think you have a close connection, obviously, with Huss there and kind of the inside look into that. But the Canucks fans scaling the statue game 1, 2, and all that. Get that garbage out of here. I don't really you don't need to be. I know you can't really act like you've been there before for them specifically in this recent playoff time, but
I don't know. Every year in the playoffs, it's like there's like, to me, in the playoffs, there's too much talk about Canadian fan bases, good and bad. I'm just like, just watch the games. Let's just watch the games. People don't need to freak out about, Oilers fans are doing this and Canucks fans are doing this. Yeah, but look, Winnipeg's they're all dressing in white. Oh, and look at Toronto. Toronto's got this great outdoor place, and they always cut the shots. It was just like, all of these, it's great. Everybody's having a great time. Who cares what Canadian fan base is better than what other Canadian fan base? I don't know. I feel like there's too much playoff breath being wasted on this guy's climbing this thing in Vancouver. And watch the reaction here. And look at all the costumes. Now, with that being said, I did like the 2 guys last night who had like the kilts and the wigs and stuff.
He's got time for a kilt, eh? Guy in a kilt. How about the Stanley Cup girl behind the Oilers bench as well, hey? Full gray, just.
Oh yeah, she's been doing a good job. She's been making the rounds.
She's out to play, right?
I think that's pretty good. Let's see here. Vinny Vertigo says, my beef. How come Trevor Moore wasn't suspended?
Well,
yeah. I'll say this. I wasn't around for game 1. Didn't have that conversation. I'm sure you guys talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. We weren't too shocked either. We were maybe discussing a fine with our guests yesterday, but that would have been the Archibald hit. The Archibald suspension came up as well in that chat. But no, you move on. That's fine.
What say you? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up over on the Nasty Chat as well on YouTube. You can chime in there. Penner's Pancake says Toronto fans don't even count. That building's in a library. Well, like I said, I don't know if I even count. It's different. I think it's different than watching the other three Canadian markets go at it as well. 780-218-9999, or hit us up over on YouTube. We apologize for these issues that we're having on iHeart and TuneIn this morning.
But once again, with lack of an engineering department, I mean, if this would have happened at the old place, we'd create a ticket, send it to the portal. We'd then wait 2 to 3 hours. I mean, we are on it. It's a tight band here, but with lack of a dedicated team to kind of look at this while we're doing the show, you're kind of doing it all at once. So we're on it. Again, we appreciate the updates because we kind of need to know where this is and where to go and find it and cut it out. But no, we'll be on it. And rest assured, I will not rest until this is taken care of.
Well, here's the thing. I know he changed something since there's a few issues before.
Well,
and I wonder if he's changed it for the worse.
See, but that you gotta go in. Okay, that
Zach,
didn't work,
have we tried shutting down the streaming program and reopening it?
Blow on it.
Yeah, I've tried blowing on it. I could try it again though. I could give it another go.
Whatever you did before, try it again, and see how that goes. We'll see if that works out.
Stauffer for Premier says, listen to 590 this morning and all the Leafs Nation talking about how quiet it is. And that's why they are losing, amongst the other 200 reasons, including reffing. Haha. There's always the Leafs we can take solace in here. Hey, I mean,
I don't
want
to spend a ton of time today talking about. I just said I feel like there's too much. I don't know. I don't know if I should say this, but I do think Rogers Place could be a little bit rowdier during the.
I think it always.
I think Rogers Place could be a little bit rowdier even during the playoffs. Regular season is regular season. I mean, the 41 home games. You're not going to get fired up every single time, but I do think they could take it to another level at Rogers Place in the playoffs. It's good. It's great. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought it was, but I think there's another level of insanity that I have time for if they could make that work.
I think you can't identify a bar when it comes to that. It should always be something you're chasing. There should always be room for improvement in that area. Why not?
780-218-9999. We're going to have to talk to Matty about not picking up his cell phone here. Zach's been trying to call him for 20 minutes.
Well,
he's got to be in on the hangout at 9 o'clock.
We talk about
is
Tommy
he
the
not
wrench.
awake right now?
We talk about the wrench, right? But
somebody just texted in. Big Dave just texted in and said it's working again. Don't mess with it.
Don't touch it.
Zach, do you
Freeze.
see it? Do you see it working? Zach comes says no, I don't see it working.
Just say yes.
I don't see it working. Fat Efron says whatever you do, don't delete System 32.
Okay, let's just stay still. Don't move for the rest of the show.
Now, who knows? I mean, it's going back and forth. We got other people saying it's a mess. What I do have is a key word here on the final day of qualifying. And I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you a bunch of times between now and 9 o'clock. We'll call a qualifier at the end of 9 o'clock. I feel like this is fair as opposed to just dishing it out now when we're having some stream issues. You'll have like an hour and 10 minutes to get in on this.
Very good.
So this is the key word for the EST Flyway to Vegas. It's your chance to win 2 nonstop flights, 3 nights accommodations, tickets for a Cirque show, presented by Flyway and the LVCVA. Nonstop flights over 50 destinations. Your sports trip starts with a nonstop flight from Flyway. Visit www.flyway.com for more. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Today's keyword is Luxor. Luxor. It's the big pyramid hotel in Vegas. Luxor. 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 Text Luxor right now to 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And we'll give you extra time to get in today because of some of the audio issues that we've been dealing with as well. But Luxor is the key word today at 780-218-9999.
Luxor.
Final day to qualify. You have another chance on the hangout. You have a chance on the lock shop. And then you'll have a chance on 2 guys and a goalie later on today. Then tomorrow morning on the show, And boy, tomorrow morning is going to be something else. Tomorrow morning on the show, we are giving away a trip to Vegas. We are B, having beer of the week, which is always a good time. We are C, debuting the playoff song that I had put together. I think you're going to like it. And that'll get you ready for game 3, like a momentum, a turning point in the series.
And that's the thing. I think you're being a little hard on yourself because tomorrow will be the first game, the first orange and blue breakfast for you this postseason, right? Like things will get started. It's a wash. The first 2 games, it's a push.
D, hopefully the audio stream works perfectly fine. And E, we will be having a tattoo artist give Corey B a Edmonton Sports Talk logo tattoo live on the show tomorrow. So we've got that coming up tomorrow. Huge show tomorrow. Should be a good one. But we're going to be giving away this trip tomorrow. So that'll
Is it going
be
to be
fun.
a color? Is he going to get that thing colored, the tattoo? Is it like a black? Just kind of a full black? I want a little bit of yellow.
I think you got the yellow and blue in
there,
right?
Full color. I love it.
Luxor, Luxor, will be your key word for the EST Flyway to Vegas. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously YouTube numbers up a little bit right now because the stream. Zacticum, where are we at on it?
It seemed to be working fine. Just when I checked, kind of, reset the recording, and it seems to be working. But I'm checking.
Did you just jinx it? Just
no,
kidding, Zacticum.
no, not going. No.
Somebody texted in today and said Zacticum, more like firedcum.
It's a tough seat over there. It ain't the Catbird seat, I'll tell you that much.
It's tough. It's tough. Anyway, some bonus time to get in here on the final day of qualifying. Luxor will be the key word today.
And look at that. That's what this is giving you. A little bonus time. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, maybe it was meant to be. Maybe it was meant to be.
Absolutely.
Ooh, Jeremy says, farm them likes. Is that what it is? Is that what it's called officially in the YouTube world? Farming likes? What is this, like a Bitcoin thing?
No, well, now that the stream, it's back up on TuneIn at least. I was just tuning in. And I guess now all the viewers are here. That's when you can farm the likes. Because everybody's here, you might as well gather them.
Okay, all right. Well, we're farming likes like crazy.
Harvest time here.
Let's get out the rototiller and farm those likes. Hammer that over on YouTube. I think we hit a 700 day.
Well,
we're already over 400 given the circumstances.
Unfortunately, let's make a.
The boys need to pick them. We need to pick me up
salad
now.
out of you know what. Yeah.
After everything that's happened. All right. So there's one thing about Stuart Skinner. A couple of things still coming out of this game. Mike Tanier is going to join us around 8:30. We'll talk NFL draft. We got 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia coming up as well. Scalding hot takes still on the way as well. Look at this, Keith. Over on the Nasty Chat says, you guys are great. Make my day. My God, Keith. Thanks, man. Holy smokes.
Measured shout.
That's terrific.
Skinner.
Yeah, the one element, and I think I've discussed this a couple of times during the season. And every time I do, I can't remember the exact place the conversation first came up. Maybe it was Belzy. Maybe it was Gager or Cass on 2 guys. Felt like it was in studio here. But we were talking about Skinner and the season that Skinner was having. And, another good year. I mean, he was really good this year, especially after Knoblauch took over and the team started to kind of figure it out in front of him. But somebody did say, and damn, it drives me crazy that I can't remember who. But somebody did say one day, it was after we did a show, we wrap up, we're off the air, and he goes, the one thing that would worry me about Skinner? I said, tell me. And he said, in a playoff series, I think teams will finally catch on about shooting high.
Yeah, I remember you saying this.
Remember this?
I remember you saying
said
this. I don't remember
multiple times.
Where it originated from. But
I can't remember where but it must have been Gager off the air, maybe. Anyway, and we'll have more with Gager, 2 guys today and stuff. But you watched the game last night. I'm like,
keep an eye on.
I wonder if the Kings have found a path. And you go to a different goalie. Now you should have the guys should be doing homework on these goalies all the time, and should have the the book on a lot of these guys already. But something to keep tabs on moving forward in this series. Do the Los Angeles Kings continue to target Stuart Skinner high glove side because it's a significant weakness that they've identified? I think I still have faith in Stuart Skinner, but I that's always sticking around in the back of my head, that conversation I had when somebody's like, what's going to happen in a playoff series? Teams are going to identify that they can go high glove on them and really kind of make some hay. And then you see the Los Angeles Kings and what they've already kind of started to try to do in the series. And I go, oh, okay, well, maybe that's a thing.
And I think with people in the play of Pickard this season as well, and I'm not. I put out a poll on Twitter, and of course, usually people are like, "Oh, so you want Pickard to start?" No, it's just I think with the play that he exhibited this season, makes a fan feel pretty comfortable. Now, I don't think you're kind of turning to him for Game 3 start or anything like that. Maybe some of you would. That's why I put the question out there. But I think the play of Pickard also gives you it allows people's thoughts to kind of go from a average or less than average night from Stuart Skinner to maybe kind of frolic in the thought of a Calvin Pickard. Not so much to say that he should be kind of going in there and now it's his net to lose or anything like that, but I think the play that he exhibited during the season certainly filled Oilers fans with a bit of insurance there in net, but also it I guess the bad part of that, and I wouldn't even go so far as to say it's bad, but when there are nights like last night, maybe your thought does turn to Pickard a little more than it would if you had somebody a lesser than back there, and it was truly Stuart Skinner's team.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Big Uke says, I don't think it's just Skinner. Shoot high on most, and it's a weak spot. Goalies all go down. High is always a target. I mean, fair point, Uke. It was brought up to me that they identified as more of a issue with Skinner. So we'll see how that continues to work. Guys, the Let's Go Oilers chant is stale. We need another way to ramp up the rowdy crowd, like Dusty said. How about like an ole, 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 Oilers? No, Oilers, 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 Oilers. No, I don't know.
I got one for you.
I just. How about
this? I don't know what's to the tune of, but follow me here. Go Oilers, go. Go Oilers, go. And then you can, let's go, like it's a different inflection tune.
Let's go Oilers,
go
Oilers, go.
Let's go. Other teams, you could kind of, and that carries on, and it's a little different than just adding another verse to the song.
I view it as,
you get it, right? Go, because you're saying go Oilers, go.
And maybe it's tough as a fan, like when they were down 2-0, it was quiet in there, and they always say take the crowd, but push through that. Like, don't let
that's when they need you the most.
Yeah, that's when they need you.
And actually,
anybody can throw a hat on the ice. Anybody can lose it after they score. But when they're down 2-0, don't make it sound like a library. They're like, get going, like lose it, get the team going, man.
If I may, occasionally in soccer, when an opposing team puts the ball in the back of the old onion bag, the fans of the team that's just scored on will immediately start chanting and singing, whatever it is, just to nullify that moment. I mean, Kempe does that
right away. It's just
right
like,
away.
Yeah.
You get on it. Back on Talbot chants. Back on Talbot. You have to erase the moment and not even give or let the opposition take that moment and the momentum that goes along with it. There is a brief period there where things kind of hang in the balance. If fans could take that and wrestle it back immediately, that'd be a pretty cool thing. And I think that would resonate with the players. Just saying. Give it a try. And I know soccer, I don't want to... It's a different world, but we can dream.
I think you like instead of just going, Talbot.
Cameron, you got to do Cameron.
No. I would do, we don't miss you. Doom.
That's a good one too.
We don't miss, like Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets after it with some of the chants. You gotta mix it up. You can't just go to the game and go Talbot, and when Doughty touches the puck, go boo. And then when they're doing well, let's go Oilers.
You say Drew or boo, right? You can't even Drew Doughty. You can't boo a guy named Drew.
Yeah.
It doesn't
then
work.
You're like I always think, did Stuart Skinner just make a save?
Sure, exactly.
Did Bouchard just score a goal?
It's sad.
Did Nuge make a play? Like it's all way too much.
Look at us gatekeeping here, hey?
Well, I'm not gay. I'm just saying, like, crank it up a notch.
Yeah.
I think there's. It's amazing when things are going really well.
Yeah.
I want to see some pushback when things start going poorly.
I just want people to go wild when they get a goal. Like you wrestle that back. The opposing team will think you're all nuts. And that's one of the best things. Turn this place into a bit of a madhouse. You know what I'm saying? I know VR Montenegro, I see you with the everybody clap your hands. That really gets me going. I jump off my couch.
I do kind of get excited. Yeah, that's not bad.
Watching people clap very fast in unison is great. Very intimidating.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We said, guys, what about Rashog's Goyle chant? Yeah, Goyle never really caught on, right? Like, Goyle. I would like to see that on an American broadcast and people be like, I think they're chanting Goyle.
Just the confusion. I like it. Nobody else needs to know. It's just for the market here. Let them figure it out on their own.
That's not too bad. Anyway, what do you think? Where do you come out of this? You're the ones who are paying $1,000 to go to these games. Let us know.
We own the North from Muscles once that going.
Something. And like I said, when at the bleak times, the down times, that's where a great crowd can take it to another level. Let's see that happen. That'd be a lot of fun. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Zacticum in the Nasty Chat says, audio stream should be back up, guys. Sorry once again for the issues. Hey, if you're excited about that, hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube.
For Zach.
And then listen on TuneIn, iHeart, or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Cowley and Balmer that take those fans are sitting in the moss pit.
Yeah, well, it's hell of a lot cheaper. And you can really kind of crank that party up a little bit out there.
Can you ever?
And the secondary one, they've got the other option right across the street now.
Gage will be signing autographs, I do believe, coming up soon.
Of course he will.
For one of those events. Maybe Friday?
Yeah, we love Gager,
I want to say
don't
tomorrow.
So whole city loves Gager. Yeah. Anyway, I like the Talbot. We don't miss you.
Give me a Cameron.
This guy... Cameron.
Only his mom calls him. You know, nobody calls him Cameron. That name's selected for the only few.
Mix
Maybe
it
the wife,
up, man.
the mom. Yeah, you know,
mix it up. All right, if you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, give us a call. Fire us a text 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And we because of the audio issues on the stream today, we're giving you extra time to get in on the keyword today, so you can text the keyword Luxor to 780-218-9999 as well. But if you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, let Zacticum know. 780-218-9999. Gift certificate up for grabs to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Best damn fries in the world. Available at Mr. Mike's. If you'd like to play kind of easy trivia this morning, text Zach right now at 780-218-9999 and let him know that you would like to play. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. Mike Tanier on the NFL draft. I mean, this has basically been an Oilers King show today. We will spend a little bit of time on the NFL draft. Tanier will join us just after 8:30 today. And Scalding Hot Takes still to come as well. Let's get to a sports update for Claiborne Services. If you are looking for work, they are looking for you. It's a perfect mix. ClaiborneServices.com. Rick's got more on that after sports update. Dylan Holloway, have yourself a series, kid. Holloway goal song on the other side of 8 o'clock here as well.
Yes, Dylan Holloway, with a pair of goals last night, but not enough as the Oilers drop Game 2 in overtime, 5-4 to the Kings. Onsei Kopitar with the winner. The series now tied at a game apiece. Game 3 tomorrow night down in L.A. Golden Knights, they're going home with a 2-0 series lead on the Stars following a 3-1 win in Dallas last night, while Brand Marchand had a pair. Bruins double up Toronto 4-2. Boston leading that series 2-1. Pair of games later tonight. Islanders host the Hurricanes down 2-0, while the Panthers take a 2-0 series lead into Game 3 with the Lightning from Tampa Bay. Blue Jays dropping another to the Royals on the road, 3-2 your final. Jays will look for the series split this afternoon. They'll send Jose Barrios to the mound, first pitch 12-10. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 33 as the Thunder rolling to a 124-92 win over the Pelicans. OKC now lead that series 2-0. The Heat with a franchise record 23 threes. They even their series with the Celtics at a game apiece with a 111-101 victory. 3 Game 3s dot the schedule tonight, including the Lakers at home down 2-0 to the Denver Nuggets. Back over to hockey. Ottawa topping Boston 3-2 in a shootout in PWHL action, while Montreal got past New York 5-2. Action will pick up again Saturday with a pair of games. And it's opening round of the NFL draft tonight. Coverage starting at 6. Chicago Bears currently on the clock, holding the number 1 overall pick. Sports update for Claiborne Services. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, Visit www.cleburneservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. He can dangle hands so sick. Back of the net, right off his stick. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home.
Here's a beautiful center pass, one-timer score. And there's Holloway, set up by McDavid.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway, go home.
Holloway goal song. You got to celebrate the small victories within the game. And, they're not down 3-1. They're not down 2-1. The series is tied at 1. And Dylan Holloway, in less than 10 minutes, made a significant impact on that hockey game last night. Congratulations, kid.
Making things interesting. You want to talk options, hey? How about that?
Luke Gazdic on this very show earlier today suggested that maybe you give Holloway a look on the McDavid line and you can slide Henrique down at a veteran presence a little bit. I don't know how.
You can see the line, can't you, Russ? You can see the line.
I don't think I'd mess with the forward group at all. You just don't want to look like you're panicking after one loss in a game that you didn't really even play well, and you still could have won. So leave it as is.
I was waiting for a butt to this.
and you have yeah. Hey guys, Whale and Wolf are playing a game on iHeartRadio. This time they're covering your Holloway goal songs. Holloway goes, calm down, Zach. Zach's face was like
they're doing what now?
Holloway goal song there.
Did Matty ever pick up the phone?
Is
he still a man of mystery here?
Still not.
He'll come in and see if he could fix it. He's got to be here. He said Colin wouldn't really help. He needs to get his hands on
I just make sure he's not MIA
get his
anymore.
brain in.
No,
he's not
showed
MIA.
an hour, yeah.
No.
All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia today?
DJ Petrin.
DJ is going to play for Mr. Mike's gift certificate, Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. They got the 6 o'clocker lager in the house at Mr. Mike's, and of course they've got the classic Mike burger with cheese in the house as well.
Yeah, eat and drink your feelings away today at Mr. Mike's.
Well, it's not a bad idea.
Why
It's not the worst idea in the world.
Treat yourself.
All right, let's go to DJ today. Going to play. DJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right, you need 3 out of 5 questions correct to win today. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck, man. Here we go. Who scored the winner for the Kings last night?
Kopitar.
Which player scored twice for the Oilers?
Holloway.
What position does Drew Doughty play?
Defense.
What sport does Jason Tatum play?
Basketball.
Which city is home to the NBA Celtics?
Boston.
Boom. 5 for 5. Turning point in the series.
No! Oh my God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
We are so back.
To remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked? I'm stoked. Just
I'm
so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Thursday morning club beat loop here on the Nielson Show, kicking off another day at Edmonton Sports Talk. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. Ooh, I just got a text here. Welcome. We've noticed that your background and resume have been recommended by several online recruitment agencies.
Uh-oh.
We'd like to offer you a part-time job that you can do in your free time. Our job is simple. We simply rate your favorite hotels. What? Daily pay ranges from $300 to $800. I've made it, boys.
What?
I've made it. How about that, Eric? That's exciting news.
Part-time, eh? That's what
Another part-time gig.
All it takes is going around the States, exchanging some personal info, and then you get the texts like these, hey, when you get back. It's a beautiful thing. I'm still getting MGM emails being told by my dad has been breached.
From Vegas still? Like, yeah.
It'll always stick with you like a...
If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. Try to push up to, I don't know, like 600. Do we take a run at 700? Probably not. Can we hit 600? Why not? If you're watching this morning, that's fine. If you're listening on TuneIn, on iHeart, or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, I hope you can hear us right now. Had a few issues with Whale and the Wolf interrupting things a little bit earlier on today, but I believe we're cruising along. If you missed it earlier in the show, because of those audio issues, we are giving you a little bit more time to get in the mix here for the final day of qualifying for the EST Flyway with Flyway. Keyword is Luxor. So just text that in. Luxor. Luxor. Fergie's Prostate is in and says, Eric is sporting a dashing new look with the mustache and goatee. I just promoted him from lieutenant to colonel. That's in from Fergie's Prostate. I liked when you had the hair back in the ponytail. You're wearing the plaid shirt. You're doing your best impression.
I broke out my best collards. Yes. No, somebody texted in, dress for the job you have, not the one you, or something.
The job that you want.
Yeah, it's just switching up a bit. It was nice. It was fun.
Propane Pimp to the inbox this morning. Dustin Nielson. Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
Oh, wait.
Did you guys get into a Wednesdays yesterday?
Sure as hell did. Tombstone Tuesday, I think Milne was knocking him down there on the board as well. Yeah, the boys were getting into it. It was fun.
Last Wednesday with the kids, Marshall in the morning, we wake up in the hotel, and Marshall's, Daddy, it's a Wednesday. I said, yes, it is, son. So Tam was having a shower, and Tam is not necessarily a fan of our old Wednesday segment. So she's in the shower. I pulled up the soundboard and just let the kids go to town. They were just like, oh, my God. They were just loving it. It's
low-key
amazing.
highlight of the trip, probably. I mean, maybe not Tammy's world, but you guys.
Yeah, it was right up there for sure. Oilers lose in overtime to the Los Angeles Kings. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. It's not a great game. They didn't play well. Still could have won it. Stuart Skinner needs to be better. Corey Perry needs to be better. Darnell Nurse, Bouchard had some moments last night that you don't necessarily like that kind of led to goals. It's going to happen. They're not going to go 16-0 and win the Stanley Cup. There's going to be bumps in the road along the way. Your reaction, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And then you also hit us up in the nasty chat as well. Paris Jewelers inbox, just waiting for you right now to come win text of the day. Go see our friends at PJ's. Family owned and operated, 22 stores in 4 provinces across Canada. If you're a listener down in Lethbridge, I guess they just opened up a new location at Park Place Mall.
Okay, we were hearing about that
Park Place Mall,
back.
which is my buddy J-Rod actually runs all of the marketing at Park Place Mall. The old classic small world scenario.
Props to mall marketers in 2024.
Still going.
You're doing the game.
Grinding hard. This is not mid-90s mall marketing.
It's easy jobs.
It's completely
you
different
teams at your disposal. I'm sure now he's alone in a room.
Don't even want to think about that. Do you post this on YouTube today, or was that Zach Dickham, the poll? We got that poll question going.
I think that was Zach there, hey? Zach?
Just over 400 votes on YouTube today. How many games does this series go? 24% of you are saying 5 games, the utmost faith. 62% of you are saying 6 games, realists. 13% of you are in full-blown panic mode and are saying it's going to go 7 games. Zulu in the nasty chat I see right now says, I got time for 55 playing with 97. I don't think a lot of people would be crazy opposed to it right now after Gazdic. It wasn't us who brought it up.
He caught a glimpse. Yeah, he saw the silhouette in the window and he goes, ooh.
It was Gazdic, not me. Upper Deck Drunk texts in this morning and says, this Kings team cannot beat us 4 games.
That's kind of That's the math you have to now do, right? Are they going to win another 3 in this series?
I like
Ask
how
yourself that question.
He also throws it out there. Mark my words. Good. When you're making a statement, mark my words is good. I didn't even do that when I said I knew they were going to win the series when Henrique scored from distance on Talbot in the first period of game 1. Mark my words.
It's how I end all my emails.
Oh, that's a great signature.
That's
Not
even name or anything. Not, mark my words.
Good emails, bad emails, emails that didn't even need to be sent.
Even a forward. Yeah. Just,
mark my words.
You know I'm serious. Coming to play.
I like that. That's really funny. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in on there. Your level of concern with the series tied at 1. Where are you at right now? Coming out of the game last night. I know some of you are saying Stuart Skinner's game last night is the exact reason this team's not going to win a Stanley Cup. In the overall bigger picture of the conversation, maybe there's some time to be had around that one. But I don't think Stuart Skinner's goaltending last night is going to cost them this series. We'll see where it goes.
You really emphasized this, didn't you? I caught that.
Yeah. Well, for now, I think that's fair. Guys, Holloway with McDavid would allow Nuge to play with Draisaitl. Yeah, but Nuge is already playing with Draisaitl. And it hasn't looked great. Like, as far as lines, wouldn't mind tweaking. That second line would probably be part of the conversation there, I think. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. More of your reaction on the Oilers' Game 2 overtime loss to Kopitar and Kempe and the rest of the Los Angeles Kings. 780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox. One of your text messages will end up winning text of the day today for A&W, where they now have the Stacker Burgers available as that place just gets better and better and better.
Norman Combine testing him up this morning. Did you see that review?
I saw that's early.
He said that sauce a little bit of a spice, a little bit of a kick. So
that's why it's secret. I just can't believe companies are still rolling out new secret sauces in 2024. How have we not, as society, already uncovered every possible sauce? Now they're getting the secret sauce. Crazy. All right. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment today?
Yes, it's 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, including their dealer principal, Mitch Lewicki, where he claims it's the best damn dealership in town. Mark his words.
I like that.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Rob is already in. Rob texted in and said, gentlemen, I just changed my email signature to mark my words.
Yes,
it's great.
With a little italic, maybe, really hammer home the point.
Most of that first part of the email signature is a throwaway anyway. Sincerely.
Yeah,
whatever.
Skip to the
mine is take it easy. I like to say take it easy.
Yeah.
So my email signature is take it easy. Dustin Nielson, blah, 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 blah. Mark my words is a great idea. Good work, Rick. That's good stuff right there. Rob, let us know how it goes. I feel like you'll probably do more business with Mark my words.
I should hope.
I think
he'll be getting
probably
answers.
Be the case.
He'll be getting answers if he needs.
Yeah, that's really good. Eric, do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. That's ERIC for those of you interested. Game 3 starter, I said an hour ago, in the form of a poll. My options were Skinner and Pickard. You can only pick out of the 2. 86.1 for Skinner, 13.9 for Pickard. These are the results I expected. I don't know if you figured Skinner should maybe be in the 90 percentile and Pickard a little lower, but here we are. And, of course, the replies to this poll are always great whenever we discuss this. So you can find that and more at Lieutenant_Eric. And follow us as well, Edmonton Sports Talk, at YEG Sports Talk, to keep up with all the goings-on surrounding EST. I know there's a big announcement yesterday. Matty Iwanek, I think, tweeting out. And then the EST account with the eyes emoji. 3 of them, I want to say.
Yeah, the deposit has been made on our location for the Estes. The Edmonton Sports Talk Awards. The Estes. It'll be happening in September. We'll get you a save the date.
Rent your tux.
It's going to be a high-end event. If you're coming, you're dressing up. And we'll be dishing out awards, text of the year, all this type of stuff.
Velvet ropes, red carpets.
Red carpet, velvet rope, tuxedos. Tommy Gazzola is not even going to be the best looking person there because everybody's going to be done up. And so I go to the game with Tommy last night, and whoever was telling us, when Trev was telling us, like, Tommy says hi to everybody.
Right, yeah.
Tommy does. Tommy introduced me to people last night that I've known for years.
It's good, fellas. You're going through the back of the bar.
It's just like, Tommy's like, oh, hey, Kate, you know Dusty? She's like, hi, Dust. I was just like, yeah. It was great. Tommy's just, he's a man amongst his people at Rogers Place.
But he's also a good matchmaker. He likes to bring people together.
Yeah.
You know, that type
I
of
imagine Tommy at home having a huge board with all the faces of anybody you'll ever see at Rogers Place with their name under it. And he goes home and stares at it during the day and goes, okay, that guy lets you in at security. That's his name.
You put a
Boom, 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 boom. Oh,
time-lapse camera in
wild.
Tommy's place.
Hey,
he walks in, stands there, and hours pass, and he doesn't move, eh?
Yeah.
He's staring at this thing.
That's it's so good. All right, here we go. Question number 1. I mean, we've already discussed this, but we can circle back around here. I'm I just feel like this is a little bit of even a panic question that was sent in. I'm sorry, boys. I go to Pickard in Game 3. Tell me why not.
Wow.
I mean, I'll tell you why not. Because teams don't go to their backups after one loss in a playoff series. This is not a Swayman Ullmark situation in Boston.
Yeah, he's the backup.
This is a legitimate number one. This is how they've played them this year. I know some people still be like, I'm not sure Skinner's a legitimate. This is a guy who they view as a number one. Okay?
You may not agree that they view him
and
as
a
that.
guy
That's
who's
fine,
been
but-
viewed as a backup.
Yeah.
Even in games this year, down the stretch where you're like, they could rest Skinner here and play Pickard. In some of those games, they still played Skinner. Skinner's the guy. You're not going to Pickard for Game 3. I'd be stunned if it happened. I don't want to be disrespectful to say it's kind of a silly conversation to have already. But that's I'll tell you why, because you don't go away from your number one goalie in a series that's tied at one game apiece. Speaking of number one goalies, Joaquin Gage lit it up in Britain one year. It was insane. League MVP. So yeah, that's why. That's it. Like if Skinner is absolutely awful in Game 3 and legitimately costs them that game, then you're looking at, where he's at so far in the series.
Well, then you're starting a discussion.
You're down
right?
2-1.
Yeah.
Even at that point, they won't do it.
No, yeah.
I still don't think Knoblauch would do it. So does he need to be better? Of course he needs to be better. But I don't think you're sitting Stuart Skinner going into Game 3. I don't got much time for it. Not after 2 games.
Jim in the Nasty Chat says Swiss cheese Skinner.
I'm saying, look, will we have this conversation later in the series? Possibly. Maybe there's more of a legitimate conversation to go to Pickard. But I just do not like Knoblauch last night post-game said he didn't even blame Skinner for any of the goals. You think that's a guy who's going to start Pickard in the next game? Come on, please.
Do the Jesus analogy again. With the
Yes, as I said, the 6 o'clock hour.
Perfect.
You know the Jesus poem they're like, that's where he left you.
There's one
single set of footprints.
Yes.
And they're like, no, that's where he came. That was Knoblauch last night.
Yeah.
Usually Knoblauch and Skinner are walking along in the sand together. And then you see one set of footprints and you go, wow, that's where Knoblauch bailed on Skinner. No, that's where Knoblauch carried Skinner on his back. And that's what he did last night in his postgame.
RCN chiming in, Paris Drewler's inbox. If LA stuck with Talbot after Game 1, why would Edmonton go away from Skinner after Game 2? Up and down like a toilet seat, these Oiler fans. From RCN.
Classic toilet seat reference.
He's got to get his stick in, right?
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Oh, I like this one from Katie. Katie texting in. A good takeaway from that game, if the Kings score first, the Oilers can still easily come back. The narrative that the Kings can shut it down with the 1-3-1 if they score first just isn't true. That should make them nervous.
They came back, but they never got over the,
Well, that's why.
That's why
I said Talbot making that save on Draisaitl, keep it a 3-3 game, was a big moment of the game. Wow, these are fun times.
Oh, baby.
These are fun times. Hammer
Welcome
the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on TuneIn or on iHeart today, thank you very much for being here. We apologize for some hiccups in the audio stream a little bit earlier on today. Cozy's in and says, I love the full-blown panic Oilers fans have after one loss. This is what drives me crazy about some of these fans. This is what fandom is.
Yeah, it's fun to get worked up.
Fandom is being crazy and supporting the team. Like, are you calling Mike Tanier? Don't call him yet. we're not going to have him for like 7 minutes. So it'll be like, yeah, we'll get him on like after Eric's sports update. So call him during that. I just don't want poor Mike to have to be sitting on hold for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to Mike coming up here just after 8 o'clock.
He's got a Substack to
Then
monitor
Scalding
right
hot
now,
takes. Yeah. Substack. That sounds like fun. All right. Question number 2. Now, this question was sent in before Gazdic, but Gazdic said he has some time to possibly see Holloway with McDavid.
He caught a glimpse.
This question came in earlier and says, guys, where do you put Holloway in the lineup for game 3?
Well, but to counter that as well, and you were talking as well about the fourth line and everything, and just kind of keeping like it's
fourth line was great.
That was something that was a positive as well with him calling it the Holloway line now. So maybe I know the temptation is there, and obviously if somebody's doing good, you want to reward them with a little something. But I mean, I have time for Gazdic taking a peek at that, and I know that you could fantasize about what that could lead to, a McDavid, Hyman, Holloway speed train, but I don't know. I don't think right now, and maybe it's not the same as the goaltending talk, but I would just leave things as they are heading into game 2. I'd re-rack this thing and go at it again. I don't think.
I said earlier I'd probably leave it the way it is. I wonder if Knoblauch considers flipping Perry and Holloway.
Well,
play Perry on the fourth line,
give it a
put
shot.
Holloway on the third line.
It's giving you an option here that you can try, but if he doesn't, I wouldn't be shouting at it.
Mark is into the Paris Steelers inbox. Sounding a lot like Toronto today, Oilers fans. Game 1, we are winning the cup. Game 2, we are losing in 5. Guys, relax. Not going to sweep every series. Good grief. Ooh, a nice good grief drop.
Strummy hits back at RC, and I assumed the Oiler bandwagon was moving too fast to Troll Boy. I was wrong. I love the battles within here.
Yeah. And as far as Mark's good grief goes, thanks for the text, Charlie Brown.
Should I rename him?
This text is in. It says, Hollywood takes Henrique's spot on the top line. Try Henrique with Draisaitl. Put Nuge on the third line. Tough night for that Draisaitl Nuge line.
Okay, well, let's.
There's been a lot of talk about Nurse in overtime. There's been a lot of talk about Skinner. We haven't got into the Draisaitl Nuge line as much as we probably should have. Although I did mention earlier, if there's one line I wanted to tweak, it would probably be that line. 780-218-9999 if you want to chime in there. Come win the A&W text of the day. All right, question number 3. Hey, Dusty, did you learn anything cool about the United States while you were down there? I don't. You know what I did learn? Nothing too crazy about the United States.
You found out about rickshaw rides.
San Diego's a great city. I guess the one life lesson I would have learned is check how much a rickshaw ride is before you take it.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I learned is, and I don't do this around here because I'm always like, I know Edmonton. I don't have to worry about it. But we had a rental vehicle down there to get us up to like Legoland and back and around and stuff, and it was good. But I used the navigation.
What was your rental?
Where it actually tells you where to go and
Escalade?
stuff. What was weird is I had like a hybrid Ford Explorer.
Okay, cool.
It was weird.
Neat. Did it drive for you? Was it one of those?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I never use navigation, right? Because you usually feel pretty good driving around here. I drive around here and I drive to Cranbrook. It's like the odd time I whip to Calgary for a CFL game. I don't need navigation.
Eyes closed.
So I've never really needed it. So and when I do need to go to a place, I never hit go on the route. So the computer never talks to me. Like the car never talks to me.
You
but down there, I did it. And my goodness, is that a breeze? It tells you exactly where to go. It was nuts. I had to drive up to like Carlsbad where Legoland was, got in, sat in the car at the airport, plugged in my phone, typed in Legoland, hit go, took me right there.
Nice voice.
Didn't get lost once. It was a decent voice.
Yeah, that's good.
There's nothing crazy about it. But my God, navigation's pretty handy when you're driving places.
You're telling me you've never used that before? Like,
No, I haven't.
Really? Even in the city today, I still use it.
Really?
Yeah, well, when
You
I'm
grew
going
up here,
north
didn't
side.
you?
Yeah.
been here for-
South side guy, but that's amazing for you to realize how handy it is. Like,
Yeah.
and the voice, you need the voice. Like, it needs a good voice, right?
You need
can't.
a good voice.
I always felt like it would panic a little bit. I would panic a little bit. Like, well, speaking of panicking. So, I don't know if I've told you this, but I'm very claustrophobic. Like, is that where you get tucked
when we went
in?
to Vegas the first time and you were in the water massage, that's when I kind of.
Oh, yeah,
learned
you
that-
were there. You saw that.
Boy, were you sweating.
So anyway, we're going on this one roller coaster. What's it? Arctic Wild or something at SeaWorld. And it had a height restriction of 6'6". And I'm 6'5". I was like, I think I can jam into this thing. So I get in, jam in, but I can't move my legs at all.
Uh-oh.
Like, not at all. Like, I can't wiggle my toes. Like, my legs are jammed into this thing. So I already don't like it.
Ooh, this thing's got. Ooh.
Went on the ride like 3 or 4 times. It was a good ride. But the very first time we went on it, it's buzzing around, comes back into the hub or whatever, and they didn't open up the thing. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And then they're like, sorry, the ride's going to be delayed. They couldn't get us out. I was stuck in this thing. And I literally, like, if I could even just wiggle my feet a little bit, I wouldn't have panicked. But I was like so locked in tight, I couldn't move. And my phone was over with my hat, so I couldn't even be distracted on there. So I was like this close to having a full-blown panic attack where I was going to be like, get me out of here! Get me out of here! And then finally I just took a few deep breaths, started chewing my nails like crazy. And Tam was sitting behind me. She goes, stop chewing your nails. I looked at her and I said, like meanly, I said, just let me chew my nails.
This once. Yes.
So yeah, that was I was this close to freaking out because I couldn't, there was no way, I couldn't move at all. 25 minutes in this thing.
You grew a bit in that moment.
Oh,
did you
man,
not? Hey,
I got out of there.
that's-
And I was like, I'm never going to do that again. But then I did it 3 more times because, like, what were the odds we get stuck on it again? Yeah. There is no chance. But anyway, I was very, very nervous there. But yeah, anyway, navigation's cool. It totally gets you to where you need to go. It was really neat. Thumbs up on YouTube if you like navigation. Really,
it helps.
Yeah.
It tends to.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts. All right, let's get to a sports update quickly for big mamas and papas. I have that pizza box in my garage because I had it in the back of the truck.
We were kind of wondering what happened.
And then I had to
puppy.
unload the truck.
Yeah.
So yesterday we got home and Tam opens up the garage and she's like, what the hell is that? I said, that's the pizza box. She goes, wow, the video didn't even do it justice. That thing's huge. I was like, I know.
You should have seen the bag.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that.
Bag, the delivery
I
bag
can't
was
get over
insane.
that.
That was insane. Hey, let's get to a sports update. Mike Tanier coming up to talk NFL draft on the other side. Oh, wait a sec here. I'm still on the trivia page. Here we go.
Oilers will be heading down to L.A. with their series with the Kings tied at a game apiece following last night's 5-4 overtime loss. Anze Kopitar with the winner. Dylan Holloway with a pair of goals for the Oilers. Game 3 tomorrow night, L.A. series tied at 1. Elsewhere, the Golden Knights, they're going back to Vegas 2-0 up on the Stars following a 3-1 win in Dallas. Brad Marchand scoring a pair. Bruins would double up the Leafs 4-2. Boston lead that series 2-1. Pair of games tonight as the Islanders welcome in the Hurricanes down 2, and the Panthers take a 2-0 series lead into Game 3 with the Lightning from Tampa. Jays dropping another one of the Royals yesterday, 3-2 your final. Toronto will look for the series split this afternoon when they send Jose Barrios to the mound, first pitch 12:10. The club are back home to host the Dodgers for a weekend series beginning tomorrow. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 33, leading the Thunder over the Pelicans 124-92. OKC now lead that series 2-0. Well, as the Heat evening their opening round series with the Celtics at a game apiece with a 111-101 win. 3 games around the NBA tonight, one of which you'll see the Lakers at home to the Nuggets down 2-0. Back over to hockey, Ottawa topping Boston 3-2 in a shootout while Montreal defeated New York 5-2. Action will resume Saturday with a pair of games. And the opening round of the NFL Draft tonight at 6. Chicago Bears currently on the clock holding that number 1 overall pick. We'll have more on the draft coming up next with NFL writer Mike Tanier. He'll join the show. Sports Update brought to you by Big Mama's and Papa's Pizzeria. BMPP is a real pizzeria restaurant, not just a delivery pizza chain. Serving authentic Italian cuisine with their made in-house pizza dough, traditional tomato sauce, and fresh toppings. Each pizza cooked to perfection. A pizza experience you've been waiting for. Visit them 12848 97th Street, or you can order today www.bmpp.ca or call 587-746-0550.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$8:35 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here. We love you. We appreciate the support that you've given us here on Edmonton Sports Talk and this Stanley Cup run is just getting started, so don't panic about last night's loss to the Los Angeles Kings. That being said, if they end up losing this series, I would feel like a huge idiot. So
we can delete the tapes. It's okay. We have the power.
I'm pretty all in on them to at least win this series. You can hit us up in the nasty chat, or you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio this morning. Buffalo wrap now available. Buffalo poutine now available as well. Popeyes, delicious every single time. Chad over in the nasty chat says at some point Skinner just needed to lock it down. I think he'll be a lot better. I think Skinner's had decent bounce backs this year. I'm not worried about that. And Talbot, I don't think Talbot's been great so far in this series either, but made some big saves and big moments in that game yesterday. More reaction coming up. Scalding hot takes coming up for Claiborne Services as well. But the NFL draft is tonight. Somewhere right now in the timeline, Sonny Weaver Jr. is just starting to figure out the actual plan of what's going on behind the scenes with Bo Callahan. And then it's on.
Right?
Then it's on. NFL draft tonight. Mike Tanier, who joins us to talk NFL all season. He joins us again this morning. Mike, good morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Were those movie draft day references?
Oh, of course they were. I love that movie.
That's cool. You know what? I was sitting with an editor and another draft guy, and we were saying, well, we should do like a retrospective about Draft Day, the movie, or something. It was 5-year, 10-year anniversary, and none of us had even seen it. we all did this. We all do this for a living. A couple of my friends are extras in the background when they cut around to like Radio City Music Hall. You can see some of my friends there. Sweet. They're the only ones who've seen it because they wanted to see themselves. No one else has seen the movie.
How are we supposed to talk with you about the NFL draft if you haven't seen Draft Day? My goodness, you're killing me, Mike. You're killing me. Hey, Mike, you got a new project on the go. Tell our listeners a little bit about that and how they can hop on.
It's called The Too Deep Zone, and you can find it at miketanier.substack.com. And if you like the things I did at Bleacher Report, if you like the things I did at Football Outsiders, things I did for the New York Times, or if you just like really good NFL analysis, it's a little more in-depth, a little quirkier, a little more stat-driven, a little weirder, come check it out. You know, it's full of jokes. It's full of real stats. It's got information you can use. You laugh along with it. MikeTanier.substack.com.
Mike, all of those descriptors are why I love you, but you're a hell of a writer and a heck of a guest on this show, and we've always appreciated your time. I am on that MikeTanier.substack.com. I'm taking a deep dive into your metaphysical draft needs, and I guess let's kick this thing off. Who do you think has the biggest metaphysical draft need just going off the board? I'm seeing a lot of receivers, but who kind of jumps off the page in terms of all the teams and their deepest metaphysical need heading into the draft?
I will start at the top with the Buffalo Bills, who pick much later in this draft, where this is a team where you are sitting on the verge of the Super Bowl. You are a field goal away from the Super Bowl last year. You're always a player or two away from it, and you take a step backwards in the offseason. Stephon Diggs, a little bit of a diva wide receiver. You're kind of forced to get rid of him. You don't get a first-round pick back in return. You get like a later year pick, et cetera. This is a team that needs confidence and optimism that they're going to stay at that level, that they're going to stay up there with the Chiefs and be in the conversation with the Chiefs and Ravens. So they've got a lot of needs. They come into this draft needing a cornerback, needing a wide receiver to replace Diggs. You can't solve all the problems, in the next couple of hours. You just simply can't do that. But it'll be interesting to see how they try to at least address some of them. Do they trade up to try and get a big receiver? They just stay in place. How do they approach what is a really pivotal offseason for them?
Okay, speaking of trading up, we kind of know how the top end of this draft should look. So when does it get interesting? When does the drama start to roll in? And am I just in a weird way asking how high up do the Vikings trade to get a quarterback?
Well, the Vikings are probably looking right now at all of us saying, okay, Carolina drafts Caleb Williams, Washington drafts Jaden Daniels, and then the Patriots look like they are zeroing in on Drake May at this point. So now you're looking at J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix as your top quarterbacks, and you have this lull at 4 and 5. The Cardinals don't need a quarterback because they're sitting there with Kyler Murray. Chargers have Justin Herbert. They don't need a quarterback. These teams would trade down potentially because then you hit the Giants, who kind of sort of need one, even though they're weird about it. You also have teams like the Broncos and Raiders who might be interested in trading out. So this is where you see the Vikings playing poker. This is a team with 2 first-round picks, absolute need a quarterback. Sam Darnold's their only quarterback right now. They have to figure out, where to ante up. How they're going to go in and say, are we going to get outmaneuvered? We shouldn't be outmaneuvered because we've got 2 first-round picks. We should be able to jump over who we want to. But we also don't want to go too far and jump over teams that aren't taking a quarterback. So it becomes very mysterious. I would say right around the Chargers, because the Chargers are the team that could say, hey, we've got a lot of needs. We're rebuilding. We're going to trade down. Who's there? Do you want to get ahead of the Giants? Do you want to be there and get McCarthy before one of these other teams gets their hand on him?
Where are you at on like McCarthy, like the quarterbacks outside of the big 3 here? What would guys be getting in those QBs?
It's a mixed bag. I'll throw Drake May into the mixed bag of guys who definitely have the traits to be starters in the NFL, have a lot of things going for them, and also have some questions along the way. I don't know if McCarthy's top-end athleticism is really there. He's also got a little bit of a wind-up when he throws. Sometimes those guys who have a wind-up when they throw, it's too slow. They get sacked. Drake May is not a very accurate quarterback. He's got a lot of talented, he's got a great arm, phenomenal arm, pretty good wheels, but he's not super accurate. Sometimes under pressure, he gets weird. Bo Nix does everything at like a B level. So he's a B level runner and a B level accuracy and a B level deep ball and all these other things. So you're like, okay, well, do all these Bs add up to an A for us or an A minus, and do we take them? Penix threw 1 million passes. So you have Michael Penix, you say, wow, what an accurate deep thrower. And then you watch all of his deep throws and like, well, some of them are pinpoint. Some of them are kind of off. If I took a bow and arrow and I shot it a bunch of times, I'd hit the target a few times myself. He's a tricky one. He's a tricky one to evaluate there. So I look at it and say, Williams has a certain level of just pure talent. Jaden Daniels has incredible pure talent. After that, you have to look at it and say, how are we going to develop this? How are we going to harness this? That's not new. That's a dilemma every year. There's just more guys this year in that class than there usually are.
Lots of talk about Brock Bowers, tight end coming out of Georgia. How far does he last in this draft?
It's hard to see him getting past the Jets at number 10 because the Jets don't have a lot of needs everywhere, and they need like more guys to get Aaron Rodgers. Like, here's the most optimal situation you can possibly have. If he slips there, maybe he goes to the Colts at 15. If he slips there, then we don't know. But one of the things he's dealing with has nothing to do with Brock Bowers. It's that, Kyle Pitts got picked 4th overall by the Falcons a couple of years ago. It turns out he couldn't block very well. And, he's just he's a little bit of a square peg in an NFL offense. So teams are wary of that. It kind of happened with Hawkinson a couple of years ago. He's turned into a very good player, but the Lions moved on from him, et cetera. So teams might look at Bowers and say, if we need a tight end, it might be better to just wait, like take a couple of them, see who develops, rather than take Brock Bowers.
Do you expect a ton of movement in the first round tonight?
I expect the unexpected. Again, after number 5, I think all bets are off, and it wouldn't be a first round without a lot of movement. I'll say this. There are a lot of teams who I think would benefit from trading down, and they know it. I think that the Denver Broncos have so many needs, they want to trade down. I think along the way here, who else am I saying? The Vikings, not the Vikings, they need to trade up. The Raiders could trade down. The Saints could trade down. There are a handful of teams that will be looking for the 3rd or 4th best receiver. Let's say that's Roma Dunze, for example. There are teams like the Bills who might want to make that move. So teams might be trading up for that. And there's one other thing. There's a couple of guys like Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers and Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals who might want to move tonight, and their teams might just move them. When they reach a certain point in the draft, some teams might say, hey, the first round pick's up for grabs. Are you interested in moving this guy that you can't pay anymore? And those teams will be looking to deal.
As always, man, really appreciate it. One more time, the Substack. How can people find it?
Substack, it's called the 2 Deep Zone. You can find it just by searching that or going to MikeTanier.substack.com.
Excellent, buddy. We'll chat again soon.
You got it. Take care. Enjoy the draft.
There you go. That is, enjoy the draft instead of your week. Mike Tanier does it again. He does it again. NFL draft tonight, always a fun one to follow along. I will probably have a meeting out like at 1 o'clock today, maybe home by like 3. Probably fall asleep for a quick nap while watching drafting.
And you wake up to the blue, 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 blue. I know what it means to me is when the NFL draft, it means the CFL draft is just around the corner.
Tuesday?
Well. That's
right around the corner.
The appetizer leading up to the main
to the main event. Yeah. I mean, you have to have a headliner in these spots, and obviously the CFL draft, it's so good it can just be done in one day.
Take me to all the war rooms. You need to be going to each and every war room to kind of get a taste of what's happening.
And you know who has the first overall pick? Your Edmonton Elks. So we'll get into that, obviously, next week as well. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, please tell your friends so they can just download the free TuneIn or iHeart apps and hop along for the ride. If you're watching over on YouTube, it'd be a shame if we came up shy of 600 now. I mean, sitting at 519 right now. We still have Scalding Hot Takes. Let's hammer that thumbs up before you sign off for the day. We've got the Hangout coming up. We still have to call our qualifier, Zach, for the
we
ESC
gave them tons
Flyway
of
to
time
Vegas as
getting
well.
everything going
Gave
on.
them a lot of time. What we'll do is we'll do Scalding Hot Takes, then we'll go to our qualifier. We gave people some extra time today because some audio issues in hour number 2 today. But should we get to Scalding Hot Takes? His honor is here. Let's dive into
All rise.
Scalding Hot Takes. All rise for Joaquin Gage. Let me get his thoughts on Stewie Skins. We got 2 guys and a goalie coming up. Matt Iwanek in the house. Getting the mic ready to go here for Gager. This is on the line. Potholder in season tournament play. My honor. As you say, Joaquin Gage joins us today. Gager, how you doing, sir?
Good to see you.
Thanks for filling in, man.
Oh, my pleasure.
You have a lot of fun?
Well, I'm with a professional over here.
Yeah.
The mark of a true professional is someone who takes something that's very difficult and makes it look easy. And
tied back here in a colored shirt, right?
Yeah. It was
that was such a good look.
It was fantastic.
I'm glad you guys had a
2
lot of fun.
Tales of the North I got to do, too. Something that I loved it. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You actually legitimately look like so happy. It's like that was good. I know we'll get into more on 2 guys and a goalie stuff today later on. But what do you think of Skinner last night?
I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. No, I'm not sky is falling guy, but no, I
You
don't.
look too casual in there. Like
No, it's look. I said it on 2 guys before you left. I think Stuart Skinner at the end of this thing has to be considered for the Conn Smythe. His level of play has to rise, like everyone else. Like there's no secret there. But you know, you got to make some saves that you weren't supposed to make. Bobrovsky was not supposed to make that save, and he
ridiculous.
did. Right?
Well, like the Talbot save late in the second period on Draisaitl on the power play. Huge moment in that hockey game.
Huge. And you can kind of go to game 1 and look at the save he made on Arvidsson on the breakaway. You know, just a bit of his pad. Huge moment.
Yeah.
You have to find those, and it's not good enough. And I think he said it without saying it last night in his interview. Like, you know, there's a lot of learning points, and one of the advantages of a 7-game series is you start to learn tendencies of other teams a little bit. So you adjust. Yeah, you have to adjust. You adapt or die, so to speak. So I do think we're going to see a different Stuart Skinner down in Los Angeles. He's got to come out of the California closet and show us his true self.
I tell you, I'm sure everything you said was great, but I just can't take when you're saying like legitimate things, but you're wearing the wig. I just have a hard time tracking it. It's too good. Oh, you'll wear it on 2 guys
You
today
should
too.
have saw
The
with the
entire
Tales
show.
of the North wig though yesterday.
I saw. Yeah,
Man,
you look very comfortable.
You were feeling good in that.
Yeah, even the wife was like, "Hey, can we borrow that?"
Yeah. No, you can't. Scalding Hot Takes brought to you by Clayburn Services. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers, apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing that they're an industry leader in safety as well. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call. Fire him a text even at 780-910-6728. Some of you might be looking for work, might want to change a career, might want to make a ton of money really fast. Jeff can help you with that. 780-910-6728. Potholder up for grabs in-season tournament. Lieutenant Eric, I guess I will go first. You will go second.
You got it.
Judge, you're ready to roll here?
Crossfire.
All right, here we go. Scalding Hot Takes. Lieutenant Eric looking to unite the mitt and the holder. Here we go.
Time now for Scalding Hot Takes.
If Mitch Marner played on the Blue Jays, the count would always be 2 strikes and no balls.
Careful, that takes hot.
The only lineup change I'd make is Corb Lund for Brett Kissel.
Hot take alert.
The Dallas Stars have already scheduled spleen surgery for Joe Pavelski next February.
That's a hot take.
The other lineup change I'd make is less PP1 time for Evander Kane.
The hottest of takes.
Mikko Koskinen's glove hand is concerned about Stuart Skinner's glove hand.
Wow, scalding hot take.
Arnie Slot, more like Arnie not Klopp.
Careful, that takes hot.
Sean Lemon was probably betting on the exact day McMahon Stadium collapses.
Hot take alert.
The CFL draft is a better and more entertaining watch than the NFL draft.
That's a hot take.
The Jays are so desperate for people who can hit and do nothing else. They should sign Ryan Reeves.
The hottest of takes.
What a sway in that Boston-Toronto series, man.
Wow, scalding hot take.
All right, there you go. Scalding hot takes.
Very nice. Very nicely done, boys. That came down to the wire. But I love the play on words at the end, and it just pushed him over the edge.
The Sway Man thing? What, are you kidding me?
That's
the Sway Man thing? My God, Gager.
Nicely done.
What was the Sway Man take again?
What a sway in that Boston-Toronto series, man.
That won it for him?
That's great. I like it.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
Oh, my God. All right, I'm rattled.
All right.
Your reaction, 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat as well. I mean, you had a lot of other better takes than the Sway Man one. What was it? Give me the first one there. What was it? The Kissel Corb Lund one?
Well, I knew I'd garner a lot of fan votes for the only lineup change I'd make is Corb Lund in for Brett Kissel. And the other one was less PP1 time for Evander Kane. But anyways, yes. Both
United.
belts. Yep. Cook you a supper with all this here.
Do we know if Trev's in next Thursday, Matty? I know you sent out this kid. He's not in next Thursday? Zacta comes in next Thursday. In-season tourney. Back up for grabs. Once again, Duck Dad is in and says, wow, you guys delivered today. Shouldn't have wasted this effort on in-season tournament. Kyle the Embalmer says, I have it tied at 22. You need one more take. I've got another take. I've got a bonus take today. You'll like this one.
Okay.
I probably should have mixed this one in. Darnell Nurse had such a good look at Kopitar scoring on his friend last night. He should have had a chair in the corner of the room. Right? You get that one.
You were sitting and said
that was my bonus. That was my bonus take. That was my bonus take. I didn't decide to throw that one in there. Guys, I love the Corb Lund take.
It was easy with that one. I knew that would get a lot of love there.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox is where you can chime in as well. Machine Gun Yammark says, you guys need better chant suggestions if you're going to call out fans for not having good enough ones. We gave you them.
Oh, go Oilers, go.
Cameron
is a must.
That's more
Cameron
funny
is a
than
must.
Talbot.
Cameron is a must. Talbot, I've done the research. Google Cam Talbot. Like he goes, and I think Strummy brought it up in the nasty chat. He goes to great lengths to not have like Cameron on there. Now maybe it's, I don't know, but Cameron, just call him Cameron. Cameron Talbot. The mom calls him Cameron. His wife probably calls him Cameron. Only the important people in his life call him Cameron, and it's probably only uttered when he's done something bad or something serious. So the Cameron and the Cameron, it flows better. Somebody also said maybe everybody just sits in complete silence
the whole time, just to really.
That would be intimidating. I tell you that.
For the first 5 minutes of the game.
Holy heck! Can you imagine?
No cheering at all. No, I also think instead of just chanting Talbot, what about "We don't miss you"?
Yeah.
Doom. We don't miss. Like, you think chanting Talbot gets in his head? No, it doesn't. People are saying I should have had that take in my 5 takes. Yeah.
But
mistake on my part. What can you do?
You're back here,
you know know what? It's rusty.
It's that vacation brain, eh?
Rusty coming. Yeah. Tim is in and says, "Sway man for the win."
It was pulling vegetables here. That's
Stamp Haters in it says, "I like Dusty getting mad at the Swayman take. that would win text of the day.
That's two different sports.
That's
here
the
that
thing.
we're
It's
talking.
different. It's different.
sport.
We gotta have higher standards, right? Like for hot takes compared to text of the day.
You would agree with my CFL though take. I mean, the draft is far more entertaining and more exciting. I just because the CFL, much like the game, you wonder what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Who are they going to show on the camera that's not expected to be on the camera and things such as that.
And what was the soccer take again?
Oh, Arnie Slot, more like Arnie not Klopp.
Okay, so Arnie Slot's
he's going to be the new manager. Feyenoord boss in Liverpool are courting him right now to take over from Klopp.
Oh wow, pretty big day there.
Absolutely. Chants seats are expensive. Wouldn't that be? I wouldn't mind that one. A little dig. Why not?
I mean, seats are ridiculously expensive.
You wouldn't be lying.
I don't know how people would afford to take their family to a playoff game. Like you know what? The other thing, I was saying this to Maddie last night watching the game. Man, we got a lot of people in today.
It's packed. Eh?
We have too many people on the hangout today.
We might have to bring in an extra chair.
I was gonna say
Maddie overbooked.
I think Maddie overbooked. We got 5 people on the hangout today.
Well, that's their problem.
Maddie's like, what's going on right now?
It's like a clown car here.
All right,
what were you going to say? You were going to say something. You nestled into me, and you were going to like.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say, how do all these young people afford these tickets? Like last night, watching the game, like watching the big screen, and then back for the third at Hudson's. There's a lot of young dudes.
Yeah.
How do you afford those tickets? Look like they're 22, 23 years old. How are you paying that much for a ticket?
It's not my tax bracket. I would belong somewhere outside the moss pit, or just outside the moss pit. That type of thing. That would be my. Those are my people.
All right, let's go to our qualifier. We gave you some extra time today because we were having some audio stream issues in the 7 o'clock hour for the EST Flyway. After this, there's only 3 more chances to qualify. Lock shop, hangout, 2 guys, not necessarily in that order. Who's our qualifier? The final qualifier in the Nielson Show for this thing.
Brad.
All right, let's go to Brad. Brad, congratulations, man. You are getting in just under the wire here.
Hey, right on. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Who would you bring to Vegas with you, man?
Oh, I'd be taking the wife for sure.
Ah, very nice, very nice. Imagine delivering a free trip to Vegas to your wife because you listen to Edmonton sports talk. That's got to blow her mind.
No doubt. How does it get any better than that, eh?
Have you been to Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yeah, I've been,
all right. You've been a few times, Brad?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have. You know what's up. All right, man. Well, you're one step closer. We are going to give away the trip tomorrow morning right here on the show. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. There you go, Brad.
See, Brad.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's real good, yeah.
Brad seemed like a real nice guy.
Didn't want to give too much away, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no, I
can
don't think
keep
so.
it tight.
But a real nice guy. Yeah. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, boom, WilliamHuff.com. They've been doing it since 1972. And if you want to show your team spirit, and if you don't, do you even care? Go to WilliamHuff.com. Check out all the packages. You can get a banner like this.
Check it out.
Hang it in your place of work.
Pro job.
Hang it in your washroom at home. I don't care.
I think Zach has one of these decals on his automobile outside, don't you, Zach?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I
that
do.
new whip of yours.
Oh, he's supporting the
nice.
Fresh. Yeah.
Nice
there we go.
stickers.
Yeah.
There
Very
we go.
nice.
Look at this.
Look at that.
WilliamHuff.com.
There's still people
You guys in
coming in
too.
here. There's
How many people are on the
23
hangout
people
today?
on the hangout
This is ridiculous. All right, what did you learn on the show today, buddy?
Well, I learned it's look, game 1 Monday night. We were kind of saying, myself, Jason Millen, Walking Gage, that it was kind of like I don't know, not a ghost town, but it was eerily silent, kind of on the streets. You didn't really get that buzz. Following a game 2 loss, though, evening this series at 1, I think we learned this morning that we are in it. The playoffs are here, and the 5-alarm fire alarm is being pulled by some people and such. I mean, this is it. This is what we live for. I said we're not going Monday to Friday now. It's not the days of the week. It's either a game day or it's the day after the game day to which we all celebrate and plan a parade route, or we're, jettisoning players into the sun and so forth.
Which we shouldn't be surprised by, but here it is
No,
again, right?
But we're here, and you're kind of loving it too, because this is what it's all about. So, take the good with the good, the bad with the bad, or overreact. I really don't care. But I think we learned this morning after game 2, in which the series is tied at 1 heading in LA tomorrow, that the playoffs are here. They are here, and hopefully they'll be here for a little while in this market.
Let's get to your sound of the day today. I think we got to go back to Dylan Holloway, do we not?
It's the golden line from last night.
He's on a heck of a run.
He's got his own line
since coming back up from Baco. Knoblauch had faith in him, put him in the lineup in the playoffs because he's playing so well down the stretch in the regular season. And, boy, he's made his head coach look really, really good.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. He can dangle hands so sick. Back of the net, right off his stick. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home.
Here's a beautiful center pass, one-timer score. And there's Holloway, set up by McDavid.
We found out not long ago. This kid is ready to be in the show. Holloway, go home. Holloway, go home.
Oh, Holloway goal song. 2 goals last night for Dylan Holloway, but it wasn't enough. If this guy really has what it takes, he would have scored the third. Right? Isn't that
he's just getting started.
If the
Let's
Oilers
put it
can't,
that way.
if the Oilers can't have a player get a hat trick in every single playoff game, there's no chance they're going to win the Stanley
Well,
Cup.
and another quiet one for Hyman too. We haven't, just 4 goals. Hellacious hit.
Yeah, Hyman had a good game, didn't he? All right, let's get to your text of the day for A and W.
Yes, confirmed. Dustin with the Y DM'd me last night as well, and Dudley chimes in Paris Drew's inbox. They were singing. He says, all the way go. Holloway goal last night at Hudson's. They were singing the Holloway goal.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. I heard that when I got back.
Again, for chant ideas, I mean, this is it.
Holloway
EST's bringing it to the bars, from the bars in the streets to Rogers Place. Let's get it done.
New Stacker Burgers available at A&W. They got the single, the double, the triple stacker. Got a bunch of good stuff in there, but the key is the new secret sauce, which Norman at Combine confirmed. That'll get you. Stacker Burgers available starting at $3.99. Text of the day, I like this one. If the Oilers win the cup, you should get a copy of the Jesus poem signed by Knoblauch and frame it and put it in your office. I don't even know who sent this in. I don't know if they have a handle.
Just jump on Chris's back there for a second. We'll just get a shot of him holding him up.
H.E. Pennypacker. H.E. Pennypacker
That's
with
really
text of the day.
Real
Jack over at Pro-Am. Can you make that happen? Can you somehow get a photo of Skinner getting a piggyback?
God, that'd be on a beach.
That would be great.
On a beach.
That would be great. All right, that's going to be your A&W text of the day. What are you watching tonight, buddy?
Well, Jays wrap up their series with the Kansas City Royals. That is today, this afternoon. So a little matinee ball for you, looking for the series split. They're at home to the Dodgers tomorrow. I know what you're watching on the hard court tonight, and
I almost get so nervous I can't even watch it.
One for the old Hammer, hey?
Swear to God.
Give one for the Hammer tonight. LeBron will ball out for old Darvin. Old DH there, hey?
I don't know if he will.
One for the
I wouldn't.
One for the Kipper.
Look, Jokic is a freak.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs, it's been decided. The Nuggets are either winning the title again or losing to the Celtics. The Celtics, I guess, yesterday didn't look great.
Funny night in the Stanley Cup playoffs, though, as well. Just 2 games, one at 5, one at 5:30, and they're both out east. So
makes sense. Win one a late game for everybody.
Yeah.
That's good. All eyes will be on the Nuggets and Lakers tonight. I'll probably be in a full-blown meltdown tomorrow on the show. But that's okay because tomorrow's show's a big one. We're
your
giving
first
away
Orange and Blue breakfast as well, the postseason, for you.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
That I think comes first, and then all the rest.
Corey's getting our logo tattooed on his body live during the show tomorrow. We're giving away a trip to Vegas tomorrow. And a turning point in the series, I have come back from San Diego, and I bring gifts with me. And it is a playoff song for the Stanley Cup run here in 2024. We'll debut that tomorrow as well.
People will say, remember when Dusty came back from San Diego, didn't go to the zoo? That's when the playoffs
That's what
started.
happened.
Yeah.
That's when it happened. I can't. Yeah, we should have gone to the zoo. I guess.
Well, now a reason to go back though.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. You don't want to do all of it. It's now you can.
All right, that's going to wrap up another day here in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio. Buffalo chicken wrap, buffalo poutine, now available at Popeyes. We'll send things over to the Hangout. If you're watching on YouTube, just turn on autoplay. It'll take you right on over. Look, congrats to the champ. Congrats to the champ. Apologize earlier on for some of the issues with the audio stream. We'll continue to try to work on those.
It's not the band's fault.
And get them sorted out.
Don't blame the band for crying out loud.
For Zacticum and Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielson. Have a great day. I'll be back on Lock Shop. We're going to talk some NFL draft props because, of course, we are.